What's going on, baby? It's been a long time.
It's definitely been a long time.
So, for those of you that don't know, we're doing our first episode of whatever the fuck we're gonna name the show. Maybe someone listening will name it. I have no fucking idea, dude.
You know what we should do? We should only just make it like a Deadpool. You know, like some kind of like thing where like the audience chooses at random. You know, what we'll do is we'll come up with some really stupid ass names too,
like beefcakes.
Really, beefcakes and butt sacks. And stuff, you know?
So your butt sex, not beefcakes, right?
No. Okay, no. Even better. I have a better idea. So what we could do is we'll have one of our first fans like create like a dartboard at home, you know, like dartboards, and have all the names put on it in a circle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then what we'll have to do is hire a trained monkey to fling shit at it, and whichever one sticks first, wherever the monkey flings the shit, that'll be the name of our podcast. I really don't care what it is.
This is getting pretty fucking expensive, dude. A trained monkey?
No, dude, are you serious, dude? You know how easy it is to train monkeys these days? I
mean, I've seen the workforce.
Look at the majority of Democrats. You know?
That's cold. That's cold.
I had
to. Anyway, man. So today we got a lot of topics to talk about, and I can't think of a better place to start than what it's like to be a fucking middle-aged gamer in the age of Fortnite and Apex Legend, bro.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't know anything about those two games because both of them I instantly put down after the first 5 minutes.
That's my point. They are definitely not catered to old fucks like. Bro,
like, I'm sorry, I don't feel like playing your casino slot machine today,
bro. I don't know. So I was working on a YouTube video last night, dude, where I was like writing out this huge script, and it was like very cynical, man, like very cynical towards modern gaming. And I was like, dude.
Well, hold on. My favorite part about this is you actually had a script.
Oh yeah, no, dude. I had a whole dude. Almost every video I've ever made for YouTube starts with a script, and then what happens is I hate the way I sound when I read my script, so then I throw it away, and then I just freeball it, and then I sound like shit. And then I always go, man, I should have stuck with the script.
I probably have the adverse effect. It's like I refuse to use a script because everything's got to be ad-lib off the top of my head just to show I have some style.
Yeah, but you're not fucking retarded, man.
Like, yet. Give it a while.
You just give me a few more puffs, I'll get there. No, like, dude, I get hung up on words. Like, so, like, I was watching an old video where I'm sitting there and I was like, perhaps it's something to do with age and games are less and less more to my liking. I was like, that's such a stupid line. Why did I say that? Why? So that's, I think I need a script because I'm fucking retarded, but I never follow it.
Now, perhaps you just need to buy yourself a thesaurus in the dictionary.
Maybe I need to read
meaning of the really big words that sound smart.
Maybe I just need to read a fucking book.
Dude, reading Rainbow, bro. Look, they've dumbed it down enough for you.
Right.
You know what I mean, you just get some LeVar Burton and show you how to fucking read. You know, like take a look, it's in a book. I couldn't go to LeVar unless he wore the thing. Dude, yeah, the Vicer. Yeah. I always wanted that too, like a crossover, like, you know, where it's like, you know, Geordie LaForge, you know, doing the reading Rainbow, even though I can't see, you know, like I only see they'd have to use like thermal ink, you know, because like I can only see thermal. It's like, damn, man, that sucks, dude. What if a motherfucker cold blooded, you know, like. They always lucky they never went up against any kind of like reptilian ass motherfuckers.
Oh no, yeah, owned instantly.
Yeah, dude, it's like, dude, you're arguably one of the coolest characters ever. However, you're not fully capable until like what, season 7, 8?
Well, and
those fucking eyes, you know?
Fuck reptilian people, like just an ice cold pimp. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, dude, it's LeVar Burton.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, he goes up against an ice cold pimp with ice in his veins, trick out a woman for like 600 fucks. You know what I'm talking about? Like, those people aren't human.
I'm not going to confirm nor deny I've ever spoken with anybody of that stature.
Oh man, I don't know, dude. I was watching Dave Chappelle, and he tells a story about some pimp that wrote the book on how to trick out hoes, and I was like, dude, I wish I had that. Dude, I wish I had that charisma to make women do my shit like that. Like, I would have a spotless house.
It's funny you say all this because, like, the only thing I can think of is like it's like, you know, like the movie theater, you know, like it's like this summer, you know, like, I was thinking like this summer, if you wanted to know how to cold trick out a hoe, it'd be a number one pimp. Snoop Dogg in with the bitch, I tell you, I just want to say, yeah, you know, like.
Right, dude. Snoop Dogg does. He literally is ice, dude. Like, you think Ice Cube is like, nah, dude.
I mean, I like Snoop Dogg. He fly as fuck, boy.
What I need,
dude. Actually, like one of my favorite movies is Soul Plane. Like, yes, dude. I'll admit it. I love Soul Plane, man. I don't give a fuck, dude. That movie cracks me up, dude. Like,
I can't fuck with it. It's too ridiculous. Didn't they put spinners on a plane?
That literally is where I think like I lost my shit the most, like, because it made sense because I would do it, you know, and I'm not flying it. I'd do it.
Well, I know the plane wasn't the plane all gold too, because like if it's all gold, like I'm up, I'm ready. Sign me up,
bro. It was purple, bro.
Oh, that's gay. I don't like it.
That's like one of my favorite Venture Bros jokes. Is like, what can you tell us about Phantom Limb? Like, if the Monarch's like, I can tell you where's a lot of purple for a white guy. You know, like, one of my all-time favorite jokes, dude. Like, oh, it was great.
So, like, the thing that... Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, by all means.
No, like, so the thing I wanted to get on, though, is like, bro, I watched E3, and I was not impressed by a single thing shown.
I actually heard that. I don't partake in such events because I suppose maybe it's like I'm one of those where I'm like so old school where it's like if it's not in the Bible, I'm probably not going to read it. I'm sure. No, I don't like E3, so like I don't understand how people can sit there and watch that shit. Like it's the same way with like BlizzCon, even though my understanding they're not even going to do that anymore. But like, it's like, what's the point?
Well, like you want to see what games are coming out. You know what I'm saying? To get hyped, to get fucking.
I guess, you know, like, I don't know. I mean, I've never been one of those guys like, okay, you want to know what killed it for me? You really want to know what killed the hype for me in video games?
Was this like 10 years ago?
No, hell no. Dude, it's like literally maybe 4. Dude, all I'm going to tell you, I dropped $200 on a collector's edition. $200. You want to know what it was? The biggest letdown in my motherfucking life? Fallout 76. You want to know something even funnier about that? Is I still have that collector's box unopened in my garage.
Wow.
I was so fucking let down because I played the demo and like your beta, whatever you want to call it, and I was so let down and so disgusted.
Why didn't you cancel your pre-order?
Because I was like, at least I'm going to get a cool helmet out of it, you know, so I'm not like I'm going to wear the damn thing. It's like, you know, I guess at that point it's like bragging rights because, you know, like the collector's edition I think sold out in like 20 minutes and I just so happened to be that one guy. I was literally in my truck in Minnesota, actually. I was in Minnesota and I was waiting to get unloaded and I was just sitting there patiently waiting for the countdown, like, boom, it opened up. I fucking put in my credentials, pushed it through, bam. And within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like, boom, they were sold out, like, at every fucking store.
Wow.
And it was one of the first times I ever did that. You have to understand, like, I've never bought, the last collector's edition I ever bought, and this will tell you age-wise, the last collector's edition I ever bought was, like, fucking Wrath of the Lich King for fucking World of Warcraft, you know?
Ah, man, dude.
And the only reason I did that is because I was with my homies and we were at Best Buy and each one of us bought one. So it's kind of like I was just kind of goaded in because they were going to do it. And I'm like, well, if you guys are going to do it, I'm going to do it, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah, I get that. I do that all the time with the homies, man. Buy a game that I know I don't want to fucking play.
And see, now you should already know me. You know me very well. I'm so picky that it's like, you know, I'm just that guy. Like, I'm stupid picky when it comes to what I play. So
I don't know, man. You play League of Legends.
We're not going to go there. I think at this point, I am contractually obligated to fucking play League of Legends due to the amount of money I have given China.
That's true. No, they own me. They own me. It's over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're like, I'm not about to skin. You know, like, that's more Japanese, but whatever.
See, for me, man, one of the biggest betrayals where I feel like it's chloroform. For me, for me,
hey, knock it off.
For me, it comes down to Metal Gear 5.
You know what? I feel that. Even though, like, I never played a single Metal Gear Solid, like, ever.
Right.
Not once.
Wow. Now we'll be friends.
Yeah, well, here's the deal, dude. Like, you have to understand, I'm a social gamer. I always have been.
Right.
Ever since I was a kid. Like, it was really hard for me to play games by myself. I always wanted to interact with friends, you know? That was the whole point.
Right.
So, my friends would come spend the night at my house, and they'd bring, like, their Dreamcast. That's because, you know, I didn't have a Dreamcast. I think I lagged out there, sorry about that. But
yep.
I didn't have a Dreamcast, and my friends did, so he'd bring Dreamcast over, and, like, I remember he'd play, like, Resident Evil, Code Veronica. I didn't play a single bit of it, but I watched the whole fucking story that way. And that's why, to this day, that's my favorite Resident Evil story. I've seen most of them. Like, I'm that guy that'll go to YouTube, and if I don't feel like playing the game, I will watch the story arc for that story, just so I can see what's going on.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm weird like that.
You know how many times I'll be sitting there playing a game, have like 80 hours into it, and then just completely lose interest and just say fuck it and just go watch the ending? That happens all the time.
Now, there's only, and again, and I think that we're going to circle back to, we're going to Jen Psaki and circle back to, we're going to circle back to the reason Fallout 76 was such an upset for me. Is because Fallout, believe it or not, well, Fallout New Vegas more specifically, was the game that kind of broke the mold for me. That's the game that kind of made me step out and play a game by myself and enjoy a story to myself. You know? And Fallout 4 kind of had that effect too. Now, I never beat Fallout 4, but I did get pretty close. I know that was towards the end of it, but like, again, you know, League of Legends lost interest and just stopped playing it altogether.
Right.
That and obviously getting a new computer, have the same save file, so it's like, oh no, fuck me, you know.
But I mean, like, Fallout's one of those games you don't have to beat. Like true, it's like true. I know many people that have Skyrim characters that have never even done like the first real story mission.
Oh yeah, I feel it. Like and see, actually, Skyrim is a funny story. Like, see, you would think, oh, this guy likes Fallout, so obviously he's gonna like Skyrim. You know, did I ever tell you my Skyrim story?
No, but I hope it's as good as the fact that Skyrim is trash. So, like, let's hear it.
Okay. So, Skyrim had been out probably for about 2 years, give or take. You remember they went back and, like, I guess retouched it up, made it, like, you know, Game of the Year edition, whatever you want to call it, like, where it's like they go back and kind of fix a few bugs and polish it up, make it look better. You know, because Bethesda's in that art. Bethesda has a great field of art where they take a turd and they just polish it up to be a more shiny turd. You know.
Well, usually it's the community that polishes it up and then they repackage and sell it.
Well, true. Yeah, like mods, etc. Right? But I'm not a big fan of mods, and that's just because I have this thing where it's like I want to play the game the developer designed as to what their vision was, what they were trying to go for.
Right. Yeah.
I don't particularly get hung up on graphics.
You don't like to add nudity mods to your game, bro?
Nah, bro. I'm too conservative for that. I didn't touch a boob till I was 30. No. That's total fucking lie. Anyhow, but no, what I was getting at though was like Bethesda, you know, like they always polish up their turds. Well, the Game of the Year edition had come out, and like it was out for a while, and then Steam had one of those like summer flash sales where like you just spent $30 on the game, and then it goes down to like $2, and you're like, fuck me.
Yeah.
Kind of sale.
And then they're always selling the game that's like already been bought so many times to like fuck it.
Right. It's just at this point, it's like, dude, I try to understand their business model and how they make money, and like to this day, it still blows my mind. But either way, whatever. But anyhow, so fucking the special edition of Skyrim went on sale for like fucking $9. I think it was. Like I think it's what I paid for. It's like $9.99. So I download the game, fucking boot it up, start playing it. And they have you go through that little stupid dungeon shit right at the beginning, the little storyline and all that crap.
I think that was 4.
No. You trust me, you go through a dungeon and you come out like the other end. You say like you escape jail. It's Skyrim, trust me. Anyhow, well, it's like that dragon attacks. Remember that you had to go underground?
Oh, yep.
Yeah. I call it a dungeon because it's underground and dark and misty, dungeon.
It's a modern dungeon.
Cave dungeon. Dungeon cave.
You had me thinking of fucking Oblivion. That other trash.
Yeah, what? Oh, yeah. Well, I never played that one either, but okay, a friend tried to make me play it, and the first thing this motherfucker does is he hands me the remote. He's like, all right, try to pick this lock. And I'm like, I try like 2 times. I'm like, this game fucking sucks. I'm like, I don't want to be a thief. What the fuck is this shit?
Oh, well, see, they fucked up, man. They should have just made you listen to Patrick Stewart talk in the beginning. That's what sold me, and then he dies in the first 5 minutes. Do I have to put spoiler warnings for a game that's like 20 years old?
No, because there's nobody that's probably even old enough, even if they're going to be listening to it. They're going to be like, what a bunch of boomers.
Yeah, what a bunch of babies, bro.
Dude, and like when they say that, it was like, fuck you, boomer. The only thing I'm thinking of is like Left 4 Dead and shit,
Yeah.
That's like literally what got me into the whole PC craze. Like, well, the reintroduction of the PC craze. Because, I mean, I've been playing PC since 98, bro. Like, repping.
So you were back in the Quake 95. Days.
Yeah, but I never actually played Quake. I mean, there was the other... you either played Quake or you played Unreal Tournament. Those it's one or the other. And I was like,
traitor! All right.
Yeah, give me a minigun, not just a surgeon.
Dude, the railgun, man. This shit was beautiful. Just like...
good gun. I also like it's that one that would like scatter the bullets. Like it's like a shotgun, but the bullets would like scatter.
Oh, that weird flak gun or whatever.
Yeah, flat gun. Yeah, it was fun too. Sniper rifle is good for that one too. But anyhow, what I was getting back to, so I go through this stupid ass dungeon in Skyrim. That first little entrance, I get out of it and I walk up to a town. I guess everybody, like 90% of the community, like ends up in that first little town. It's kind of almost like it's designed to guide you to that town.
Right.
And I get to that little town. As I'm walking up on that town, I see a fucking chicken. And, like, I had a fire spell because, like, I always like playing the whole caster archetype, or whatever. I was going to make, like, a mage or whatever. But, like,
right.
Dude, I pull out my hand and I got that fireball going in, like, 2 + 2, fucking fire, chicken, fried chicken. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, let's make some fucking chicken, dude.
Yes, I do. I'm telling you, bro. I like fried chicken. Fuck off, bro. So like, dude, I was like, fried chicken, dude. I threw that fireball at that chicken, dude, and it aggroed that whole fucking town, dude. Like, I'm like, dude, these motherfuckers are straight pissed off over a chicken, over a chicken. That does not happen in real life, dude. Dude, if I went out to a farm. Like a community of farmers, okay? Let's just say, theoretically.
Right.
I go out to a community of farmers, and I walk up, and I just, like, douse a chicken in gasoline and fucking throw a match at it, and it catches on fire. They're not going to attack me. They're probably going to look at me and be like, he's on some shit. I'm probably going to call the cops. Now, they'll attack me.
I don't know. Those cops... Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just saying, look, I killed the chicken, the townspeople fucking murdered me, and I instantly uninstalled that game and never played it again.
All right, so maybe the reason why the townspeople turned on you is not because you killed a chicken. That's because you were a heathen ass witch nigga that was blasting people with fireballs.
You just called the chicken a people.
Whatever. I mean, you're a heathen. Like, they used to kill people for practicing math, dude, back in those days. Come on. You want me to believe they're okay with a wizard floating around?
Dude, are you kidding me? They kill people for using math. How do you think we have the Pythagoras theorem, dude? Like,
dude, what are you talking about? They called that shit witchcraft back in the day.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it probably is.
I'm just saying.
That's right, little Susie. 2 + 2 is 4, and now you can summon Satan. You know?
That's what I'm saying. So honestly, I'm thinking maybe the town had the right idea. Like, if someone just showed up at my door and started casting fireballs, I'm going to jump them with the rest of the town. I'm going to call all my boys up. I'm like, dude, this dude's not human. We need to go to town.
This guy has a can of lighter fluid and some matches, and something tells me he's a couple French fries short of a full half. You know?
So you were never really entrenched into the gaming framework.
Well, it depends on what you mean. Like, I mean, like, I grew up. I got my first Nintendo, like the NES system, when I was like 10. But when I was 10, it was obsolete shit. The Super Nintendo was like coming out. Like, what happened was the kid down the street knew the Super Nintendo was coming out, and like he came to my house and he's like, tell your parents I'm selling my Nintendo with all the games. And like my parents were like, they didn't want to get me any video games or whatever.
Yeah, because they're the devil.
And like,
I mean, gaming is the devil.
No. Well, my mother probably would have been on that aspect. My dad, not so much. My dad was always kind of a free spirit, you know. But like,
wait, isn't he like the hardcore conservative?
Yeah, but he's not like the kind of conservative you're thinking. My dad just my dad's so, okay, here's the deal. My dad is so right-wing, he hates the Republican Party. And when I say that, he's talking about, like, the Rhino Republicans, you know?
Yeah, he's talking like Ted Cruz and shit.
Well, no, Ted Cruz isn't a Rhino.
Oh, you mean like Mitt Romney?
Yeah, like Mitt Romney, like fucking poster boy for Rhino Republicans. Basically, you know, they're just Republican in name only. The only thing they do is they just drag their feet, and Democrats kick and squeal and get what they want. And Republicans just go, yo, speed bump, and then the Democrats still get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Republicans don't fight for anything. Well, the current iteration of the party, at least. And that's why my dad hates them. Like, he's like, dude, like, they don't fight for, like, the conservatives. And they don't. They really don't. Like, they're just... What they are is they're old school Republicans that were your, like, what I like to call your Rockefeller Republicans, you know? Like, basically, we want all of the monies, and we don't care about the people, you know? Those kind of Republicans.
Right.
And so my dad's always been, like, you know, working class. And now this will blow your mind. Even though my dad is a Republican, my grandparents were, like, devout Democrats. They used to fucking irk my dad into like he hated it so much. And like my grandpa died of card-carrying Democrat, dude. You know, he's a fucking farmer out in the Midwest, you know, like
that's so weird.
Fucking Democrat.
Well, dude, you make a lot more sense to me now.
Well, you have to understand that the Democrat Party back in that day, they weren't as well. If we got to talk semantics, like the Democrat Party back in the day was like basically racist, like beyond belief.
Right.
You know, you had to read, like, obviously, like Jim Crow and all that stuff. They were like the huge, like, proponents of Jim Crow. And your Republican Party back then were like abolitionists, like staunch abolitionists. In fact, it's historically proven that not a single fucking card-carrying Republican from the Civil War era all the way up until like now was ever like a KKK member or anything like that. That's like fucking fact. Now, if you look at the facts, you go back, you literally see that literally all Democrats, pretty much, like the majority, there was only 5 of them who weren't. But like 99% of Democrats, all the way up until the 1960s, were literally card-carrying fucking Klan members, dude. And that's like where people are like, oh, the party switched sides. Like, no, they didn't switch sides. They just figured out how to use you. You know, that's it. It's smoke and mirrors, kids. You know, like, see what the Democrats like to do, like, well, the current iteration, at least. I mean, I can't here's the deal. There's some Democrats I do like, like Tulsi Gabbard, stuff like that. But the majority of them just figured out a way to fucking eternally make it to where you're basically like, okay, how do I explain it to where it doesn't sound politically fucked up? But it's like, back in the day, they used to call it the plantation state, where it's like you learn to live on the plantation so that, like, your master provides for you, kind of a deal.
Right.
And that's basically the current iteration of the Democratic Party. Like, it's like literally like, oh yeah, no, like it's like, for instance, it's like with this whole like people still not working, even though like we've already figured out that COVID has like a 96% survival rate. It's like you still have people not working in all these blue states, and like people are just collecting paychecks beyond belief. We're fucking starting to see the titular signs of fucking mass inflation.
Oh yeah, no, we're printing money like it's fucking candy.
Yeah. And at some point you have to wonder: is it done by design? Like am I just watching the most trolliest fucking like reality TV show I could possibly fucking imagine? Oh, good.
I'm gonna say I can't really speak about all the old Republicans and old fucking Democrats. I mean,
I can because I'm a history major, so there you go.
See, I am not. I am a morbidly obese man that plays video games in a garage, usually in his birthday suit. Just saying. If I'm not streaming, I'm nude. Anyway, so I really, I'm not like some moral fucking pontificator about what was and what could be. But what I can say is it has seemed strange to me my entire adult life that Democrats have owned the black vote, but have done nothing to
enrich them.
Yeah, to enrich them or to fix their issues. And it's not like Republicans.
Exactly.
It's not even like Republicans have been in office.
Don't either.
Well, yeah, okay,
no. Well, here's the deal. Republicans, their whole thing was abolition. Obviously, they got what they wanted, right? But here's the deal. Like, now think about it. How many black people actually vote for Republicans?
I would say a small minority.
Of course. How many Mexicans vote for Republicans?
I'd probably say a small minority.
You're right. How many Asian Americans vote for Republicans?
Probably a lot.
No.
Really? I figured they would.
Exact opposite. Here's the deal. The Democratic Party, this is what I'm getting at, if you'll follow along with me here. The Democratic Party basically the Democratic Party basically figured out how to like fucking reverse the roles to make it look where you need them more than they need you. Okay? And that's literally what it is. It's literally a trick and pony show. And that's why when Biden was running, they were like you had everybody on the right saying like, dude, this guy's done nothing for like 49 fucking years.
For longer than I've been alive.
Dude, yeah, exactly. And the guy literally back in the like mid 70s and 80s was like, he's like, we don't want our white children going to school with black children because it'll become a racial jungle.
I remember that. I watched the video.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, like, and motherfuckers sitting there acting like this motherfucker loved the black man. He loved the black man. No, he doesn't. Okay? He does not love you. He does not have your interest in mind. It's like, now, mind you, during Trump's presidency, lowest black unemployment rate in the history of fucking ever in this country. Lowest Mexican American unemployment rate in the history of fucking ever. Dude, everybody had jobs. The economy was booming until fucking COVID.
Look, I'm about to say something that's going to probably mark me as a conspiracy theorist and someone who is probably right-wing, but I assure you up front that I am neither a conspiracy theorist or right-wing. Matter of fact, I kind of hate Republicans. Like 90s Republicans. I kind of hate them. But
yeah, well, that's what I'm getting at, too. Dude, I don't think I'm a fan of Republicans. I hate them.
I remember growing up under the Republican regime of like, oh, you're an atheist? Off with the head!
Well, I mean, and that's why, like, here's the deal. I give Ted Cruz a hard time all the time, too. And that's just because, like, I agree with him on some things. And he's one of the few Republicans actually trying to fight for conservatives, you know?
Oh, no, yeah. Ted Cruz is probably going to run for president in 2024.
I mean, he's not going to make it, dude. That guy's literally, he'll never be president.
Dude, what are you talking about? I know so many Republicans that didn't like him in the beginning and now love him.
Close their heart, like, all the way.
But anyway, so
Anyhow, no.
let me get to this thing that I want to touch on a little bit. So like Trump was doing a fucking stellar job. The first 3 years of his presidency, he was unfucking touchable, bro. We had the lowest numbers in history. We had a stronger workforce than ever. We were energy dependent. We were like fucking getting our own goddamn oil for the first time. We were not teetering on a war with another nation. Like it was fucking.
It's because he did the populist thing, dude. Like,
right? Yeah.
That's literally his whole ticket was like, dude. That's why one of my favorite videos it shows he's like, look, he goes, I know they're gonna come after me. I know they're gonna come after my family. I know this is all coming. He goes, I'm gonna blow the lid off of it. I'm gonna show you how fake everything is.
No, yeah,
and sure enough, that's exactly what happened. You know?
Well, so there's
destroyed the man.
So there's like an old fucking interview or an article somewhere talking about how Fauci says in the next 4 years there's going to be a fucking virus outbreak. Not only is Fauci like the head funder of the fucking grants that are being sent to this Wuhan factory or whatever.
Yeah, you gotta be careful because are we doing this on YouTube?
I have no idea.
You're gonna watch some of your wording here. You're gonna have to correct it and say. Because I'm telling you, dude. Just this talk we're having here is enough to get us fucking banned right out the gate.
Jon Stewart can go on the Daily Show and talk about it. Fuck him. I can talk about it too.
Dude, that's what my favorite. I love that so much. My favorite part of that was like, there seems to be an outbreak of chocolate goodness coming out of Pennsylvania. I wonder if it's the fucking chocolate factory.
See, and here's the thing, though, dude. So, like, there was no way they were going to be able to hold up against Trump in a fair election. Like, it just wasn't going to happen.
No, he would landslide anybody because of how well his numbers were.
So that's why I honestly think that virus was leaked, dude.
Well, yeah, but look who else is funding it besides Fauci, dude. Bill Gates.
You got Bill Gates. You got Jeff Bezos paying in for all that shit, too. I'm just saying.
But here's the deal, dude. Like, what this shows, and Trump, bless his heart, dude, to a degree, like, he tried telling the Americans over and over and over again, do not listen to what they're telling you. It's not the truth. Disconnect yourself from the media. Like, it's not the truth. Because you got to understand, you have all these media lapdogs. Like, they're owned by these people. They're owned by corporations. They're gonna spin the narrative they want you to see. They're gonna spin the reality they want you to see.
Oh, I mean, to an extent, so does the other side too.
Yeah, but how many? Okay, but again, how many conservative major media outlets are there?
I'd say 2. There's Fox, and then whatever Blaze is on. There's only 3.
Blaze, Sun, but those are much smaller. Like they're almost like YouTube content.
Right,
America First, or
but there's
American News.
So there's like 1 conservative, and there's like 3 fucking,
like 4 or 5. You got MSNBC, you got ABC, you've got fucking.
Yeah, but how many?
All of them are.
How many?
Are left wing. Right?
How many of them are owned by the same parent company, though? I would imagine ABC and MS.
Okay, right. Okay, so you break it down that way. You got 2 sides, obviously, because. Let's just face it, Rupert Murdoch is the only guy fucking running Fox News. At least he's a good conservative. And then the rest is all owned by fucking a conglomerate of fucking corporations,
Yeah.
And financed and funded, et cetera, et cetera. That's what I'm saying though. But dude, when the majority of your news, okay, and here's the deal, actual journalism is dead.
Oh yeah.
It's real journalism back in the day. That's why I like to harken back to Kennedy. And this will blow your mind. Me, I'm center right. But my favorite president of all time was Kennedy. Kennedy, and he was a Democrat. And I
like how you preface that as if we didn't catch on. You're like, are you awake over there, you fat son of a bitch?
I just want to make sure because I know most people are like, he's center right, he's a Nazi,
we're gonna get a lot of hate, dude.
Oh, I know. They can hate all they want. They can go on their fucking hate parade and drink their haterade. I don't care.
Well, see, I mean,
the fact of the matter is if I'm pissing you off, it's because it's the truth.
See, the way I look at it is I have a 2-inch dick, man. Nothing anyone's going to say is ever going to offend me.
I mean, unless they said you had a big dick, then I'd be offended because it wouldn't be true.
Well, now they're just lying. Like, you can't take the facts of a liar. Like, I'll be damned if I'll be ridiculed by a liar.
Right, I get it. But back to reality here. Yeah, Trump, here's the deal, dude. Trump pre-presidency, okay? Pre-presidency, literally. Just go watch any interview with the guy on any network. Dude, he was loved and praised by the people.
Oh, yeah, dude. Even
praised. Rappers, you know, like, fuck it. To give you an idea, dude, yeah, like, even Kurt Cobain, when he was still alive, you know, before he decided to have a date with a sawed-off shotgun.
He was killed, bro.
Courtney Love would not like you saying that.
Hey, fuck Courtney Love.
Anyhow, even in an interview back in the 90s, they asked fucking Kurt Cobain, like, who do you think should run for president? He goes, honestly, the only person I think could do it and do an honest and good job of it would be Trump.
Dude,
like, he literally said that in the 90s.
Yeah, well, see, but back then, Trump was a Democrat. Trump was...
Well, yeah, Clark Kerry.
Yeah, he was the one...
He funded the Clintons. He funded, like, all the Democrats.
Yeah, he funded... Like, he was like the Bill Gates of back then. Like, that's why it was great that he ran on a Republican ticket, because, one, you can put America first regardless of your political agenda, and two, no one could buy him. He was unpurchasable.
Yeah. Yep. That's why during his speeches, like, I used to love watching his speeches, just to see how many people he'd kick out, of course. No. My favorite part was he would always say, how did he phrase it? I'm trying to remember. He'd always say, oh, yeah, he goes, there's all these other guys out here campaigning, they're taking their money, but they're going to owe him favors. You know, he's like, I don't take any of the money. He goes, do you think if I went to them, do you understand the amount of money I could get if I just went there and endorsed them? He's like, I could have money to the moon. He goes, but I don't need it.
Right.
I don't need it. I could finance this shit myself.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yep. Mad respect. Well, and dude, okay, he played the media to a degree that was just fucking phenomenal. Like, dude, he played the media so hard.
One of my favorite things he ever did, one of my favorite shit posts he ever did was, and I'm not even on Twitter, but it circled the internet, so I knew about it. But one of my favorite fucking things he did is he posted a meme about, like, Switzerland or some shit, and put like somebody superimposed like a Trump Tower there or something like that. And he goes, in the caption, he said, "Don't worry, I would never do this."
Oh yeah. I know. Yeah.
He'd shit post, you know, like
I loved
that's
it. Yeah.
What I'm saying, like, oh yeah, the guy was the greatest troll. Like, dude, if they could go back and say, who do you think the greatest troll of the 21st century was? Hey, without a doubt, Donald Trump. You know, like, without a doubt, dude, he had these fucking media companies pulling their fucking hair out, trying to dig up dirt. Fucking Russia, dude, we went through Russian collusion, which wasn't a fucking lie. We know it now. We went through fucking every kind of... They tried to drag this man through so much fucking mud. None of it was stick. Like, dude, it's like, you can literally... He's like the fucking Teflon Don, bro. You know, like...
Well, see, the problem is eventually something did stick. That's the problem. Eventually,
well, yeah, like the Stormy Daniels, like
no. It's just eventually they stormed the fucking Capitol. Like, and that wasn't even on him, but they pivot to him. Yeah.
Well, but okay, and again, I don't want to be that conspiracy theory guy, but I've seen a few things where it may question, like, where there's actually evidence that the FBI was involved.
Well, I wouldn't even go that far. There's some weird stuff that I saw one of the guys that had taken something from Pelosi's office. I think it was like her fucking chair or
laptop.
Something. I don't remember. Anyway, he was posing with pictures with Pelosi and Clinton like a week before that. You know what I mean? There's some unknown fucking information in there.
Okay. Now hold on, but there's also this is fact. Trump, because he knew he was going to do that rally there, he approached Nancy Pelosi and said, "Hey, I'm willing to like put 400,000 or four no not 400 40,000 soldiers to defend the Capitol and everything, you know." And Pelosi turned him down.
Right.
So there is that. And okay, now, how are you going to sit here and try to fucking frame a guy when he offered you the security and you turned it down? And then not only that, when the fucking security actually showed up, y'all fucking let them sleep overnight in a goddamn car parking garage? Like,
I remember that. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say, dude. These Democrats don't fucking care about you. Like,
No, yeah.
it's all a fuck. It's smoke and mirrors, bro. It's smoking fucking mirrors.
Yeah, but I mean, so let me. So like, I was before we started today's podcast, I was taking a shit, like like every person does. And dude, while I'm dropping this deuce, I'm sitting here watching. I can't remember what podcast it was or what video, but it was like a Republican talking about something some Asian woman said on who's that one cocksucker dude on fucking CNN, man. The mayor's.
I do not watch that fucking channel.
The mayor's brother or cousin or Cuomo something.
Oh, yeah, it's Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah, okay, yeah. The fucking biggest shill that the world's ever seen besides Don Lemon.
Lemon,
Fuck. Anyway, so I'm sitting.
Hold on. Dude, hold on. Hold that thought. You brought Don Lemon up, so I have to do this now. Did you see Tucker Carlson rip him in two?
I did not.
Oh, okay. So Tucker Carlson, he goes, basically the gist is like, Don Lemon would like you to think that he's like your typical black gay gentleman.
Oh, I saw the outline for this video. Yeah. I never clicked it.
But he's not. He lives in like the whitest neighborhood in like New York or some shit. And like, with like the wealthiest white neighborhood you could get in New York, and then they go to his kitchen, and he's standing there doing an interview in his kitchen, and right behind Don Lemon is a black-faced fucking cookie jar, bro. Like, I'm not even joking, dude. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, these people are sitting there saying, "Oh, we need to get rid of like white racism," and like this guy's got something from like the fucking 30s and 20s when like it was okay to portray black people like that. Like a Tex Avery black person, and he's got it in the background, and he's one of the biggest proponents of white hate and white guilt and white this, white that. That's why I thought it was funny. It's like, dude, Tucker just like shredded him, just like, dude, like why are you trying to be this moral dogma? And here you are, you have this thing in the background at your house, like,
yeah, but see, that's nothing too bad. Like, it's just a fucking cookie jar, right? It could be his great grandma's.
Hold on, stop yourself.
All right.
Donald Trump, Eric Trump, or any of the Trumps had that same cookie jar in their house. What would happen?
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't play dumb.
See, I don't know
Don't
because
play
hear me out.
Don't play dumb.
Hear me out. The reason why I say I don't know is because I would imagine they have things like that in their house.
Oh my god!
I mean, they're fucking cultured, bro. No, but so but hear me out. So
it's such an ignorant culture.
so that kind of touches on there are like legitimate. Anyway, fucking Andrew Cuomo is sitting there in this stupid fucking interview, and the woman is talking about how like they're taking away. Or she's unhappy that we're opening up 100% in these areas around the country, because she's like, well, then what's the incentive to get the shot if we're already opening up? And it's like, whoa, like, what do you mean? Like, so essentially, to some people, it's like, well, you're playing with our freedoms in order to get this weird vaccination that I'm not necessarily sure I agree with. So the guy, for the rest of his article or the thing, his little speech was talking about how Democrats want your freedoms, and I'm like, but there's a reason why she was saying that. I disagree with her. I think we should open up our borders and let people or not borders, fuck that. Open up our states and go back to 100% whatever, and let people get the vaccination if they want it. And if people don't want it, then so be it.
Yeah, see, that's the libertarian approach, which is the same approach I agree with.
Right.
At least we're on the same page. Go on.
But so anyway, like sitting here to say like, like they're just after your freedoms. She wants people to get the vaccination undoubtedly for probably a good reason. like herd immunity and all that other bullshit.
Well. Hold on, but see, herd immunity is the antithesis to a vaccination. You see, herd immunity is literally like, okay, like take like what was it, like Switzerland or Denmark is one of them countries over there where
they never shut
they
down.
literally just they never shut down because they let the shit run its course, right?
Right.
So they let it run its course, and then everybody was immune to it. Like it's like the same thing as South Dakota. South Dakota has the best GDP in our country because they didn't shut down the entire fucking pandemic. Okay? They literally, and the governor allowed them, she goes, look, as a governor, I do not have the right to tell my citizens what they can and cannot do. She goes, I let it up to them. If you wanted to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you didn't want to wear a mask, don't wear a mask. And, dude, they have the best GDP, lowest fucking COVID rates. I mean, but then again, it's South Dakota. I mean, like...
How many people are even there, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like saying, like, oh, Montana had shockingly low numbers. It's like, I wonder why. Like, it's the least populated state in the country. One of the largest land masses, least populated. It's funny because my brother lives there. So it's like... My brother's like rednecker than redneck. Like my brother is like straight up country boy. Like I'm talking stars and bars country boy.
He's probably got like dip in his dip.
Dude, yes, dude. That's like dude, my brother. All my brothers dip, dude. Like every single one of them.
Oh man,
I did for a time too, but then I went back to smoking. So there you go.
I do dipping to me is just a fucking vulgar process. But no, so like But see, so here's another state that never really shut down. Fucking Florida. Florida was never at the top or the bottom.
Well, okay, here's the deal. They did have high COVID numbers,
right?
But it wasn't high COVID mortality rates. And see, that's the difference. You see, that's where, dude, it's going to get to a point where it's going to sound like a conspiracy theory, but it's actually fact. Like Cuomo in New York,
Oh yeah, the old person killer.
Yo, dude, and I know why it isn't, but how that isn't mainstream publication, dude. There's like so many families trying to sue the state of New York right now because of that, and it's like he knew, like, see, and it's another one of those things where it's like, I don't want to be the tinfoil wearing guy. 2 plus 2 is not 5, it's 4.
Yeah, there's some shit that's starting to add up here, boys.
Yeah, it's like, I've been punching the numbers, boss, and we're losing money. It's in the red. That's the point. It's like, you start to. God damn it, man! I fucking hate life sometimes. It's like, dude, you want to sit here and call bullshit, but the minute you do, the first thing that happens, you have all those fucking like far-flung fucking blue-haired fucking yuppies. They're like,
feminazis.
Yeah, you're a Nazi. Racist.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
It's,
we're at a point though. There's nothing you can do. At this point in the world, if you're gonna have an opinion, you're just a Nazi.
Yeah, well, and that's because, dude. I mean, because that dude, that's how sinister this movement is. This hardcore, like, left-wing authoritarian movement. Like, dude, that's all it is. Like, and if people don't see that, like, one of my best friends literally told me, he's like, we had that debate, and the debate went on for like 2-3 hours over the phone. And now, mind you, he's a staunch Democrat, and I'm center right, so. There are some things we agree on, and there's some things we obviously do.
Yeah, prison reform, fuck yeah. Drug reform, fuck yeah. And then everything else kind of falls by the wayside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, like, well, I'm always like, I would almost argue that I'm more libertarian. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, I'm not, because I have a lot of conservative ideals, and like, honestly, the only one really being fiscal. It's like, right. I just believe we should take care of our own debt as we go perpetually, rather than, fuck it, print up more and it'll be down the load in my debt. Yeah, now my kid's got fucking ankle bracelets on them, like, damn it, Yeah, because people really don't understand how money works. If they did, they wouldn't fucking borrow a goddamn red penny, but, but that's what you get. You don't learn it in school, and you're a fucking artard, and you just take everything at face value. That's what happens when you watch the media and you think you know something because you watched a 5-minute blurb on CNN. You fucking twat.
Yeah, but see, See, like, we're at a topic, we're at a point now where even though I'm on the left, I have to agree with you because, like, when it comes down to COVID, everything has been ridiculous. It's been blown out of proportion.
Well, again, I'm going to sit there and I don't want to wear the tinfoil hat, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
I believe that Donald Trump was such an existential threat to their plans that they literally had to fucking dig up a goddamn virus.
It makes sense, dude.
You start, again, 2 + 2 is not 5. Well, so, any person with a rational fucking brain can put 2 and 2 together. But remember, when conservatives were calling this bullshit at the beginning of the pandemic saying, hey, and again, I had that argument with my buddy, and he's like, no, man, like, I was like, dude, it's China's fault, dude. Like, literally, it's like to a degree, obviously. I think a lot of it was China, the CCP and our Democrat echelon that had a lot to do with it. They all play hand in hand. But
they're beholden to fucking China.
Well, of course, that's why I'm saying, like, dude, it's a goddamn mess.
Well, go ahead.
Well, what I'm getting at though is basically he finally broke it down to me because obviously we covered Antifa, and of course he used the Democrats' viewpoint of, oh, they're not a group, they're just a what is the theory, or what do they call it, where they say they're not like they're not
fuck. Biden was preaching the same shit during the goddamn debate.
Yeah, they're not a group, they're just an idea. There. That's what it is. Okay, and of course we know that's fucking wrong. Mm-hmm. Because they use communications and everything to fucking,
they primarily
catch their dastardly plans.
Yeah, they primarily group through Facebook. Another, left-leaning company that's done nothing to shut them down.
Exactly. Now what do they do to Proud Boys? They're like, Proud Boys is a white supremacist group. I was like, yeah, that's why the leader's a fucking Puerto Rican. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Anyhow, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like,
did we lose you there?
Yeah, give me a second. I'm talking to the missus. Hold
on.
All right, sorry about that.
All Gucci, baby.
It's like my kids, my wife, everybody comes and they see me talking, they're like, oh, I want to say and listen. It's like, oh, tune into the podcast.
We're going to upload it sometime tonight, so.
But where was I? Will, please remind me. I apologize.
The Proud Boys being shut down.
Right. Okay. So, see, yeah. I mean, if you can't see the blatant biases, I mean, dude, seriously, if you cannot see the blatant biases, either you're fucking Mr. fucking Magoo.
Right.
Or you're just fucking retarded.
Well,
I mean, there's no comfortable ground here, okay? Like,
right.
If you could sit there ball-faced and be like, still a Democrat, I still agree with the party. Like, dude, if you're that stupid, you are literally you are the definition of Stalinistic fucking useful idiot. Like,
you're right. And see,
you were the fucking poster child, kid.
That's why I have such a hard time being, because I'm center left, man.
Right, yeah.
And
I've done this for years.
Yeah, but like, that's why it's so hard to be on the left, because like the left makes it impossible.
Well, it's because, okay, here, and I'll give you this, Will. Like, the Democratic Party is not the same Bill Clinton Democratic Party it was back then.
Well, no, it's part of this Marxist ideology that's spewing forth from these colleges, man, and these campuses.
Exactly. And where do you see now? And see, now here's another one. Of course, unless you don't do the research, you won't know. But dude, they've already our government has busted. You could go look up articles. You can find it. They have busted these fucking professors taking money from China.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh
yeah. Oh yeah.
That's why I'm saying. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
You have to, like, even someone who is on the left who doesn't want my side to be the one to get smeared. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here watching, and there's teachers being caught, teaching fucking ridiculous shit. The entire race theory,
which also critical race theory is also an indoctrination technique that the Soviets used as well. It's literally just got a different name, same concept, different name. But yeah, keep going.
So, like, and then I see the Hollywood left, doing the same shit. Well, not the Hollywood left, Hollywood, because there are no fucking conservatives in that goddamn business.
Very rare, but yeah.
Yeah, so like you see Hollywood, then you see mass corporations like Facebook, fucking Amazon, fucking.
And what you're getting on is literally the same thing Tim Pool says. Because see, Tim Pool's almost just like you. He's like literally he's center left, but he leans more left. He'll tell you he does, but he doesn't agree with the current party and the road they're on. You see, because he doesn't agree with this Marxist bullshit either. This indoctrination that's going on. Because see, here's the deal: if you really want to know where all this comes from and why it's a thing, is because basically the world banks are your globalists, as you like to call it, the globalist elites. Basically, they've been watching China and America go toe-to-toe against each other, and they found that the Chinese way of doing things is much more to their liking because it's more efficient. I know that sounds crazy, but it is. Because it's not, at that point, it's not about the individual, it's about the collective.
Right.
Now, one could argue this could be good and this could be bad. However, the problem is our charter of America, our rights that the Declaration of Independence, our rights are given to us innately from nature and or if God, insert X wherever you believe. Okay?
They're intrinsic to what it means to be human.
Exactly. And that's why, obviously we set up the country we did. And our founding fathers, a lot of people like to sit and, again, teachers are trying to say, well, the founding fathers didn't know everything. It's like, no, these guys were light years ahead of you. In fact, in one of my favorite Kennedy quotes, one of my favorite ones of all time, he was sitting down with the board of NASA, basically, all of, like, the top scientists in their field. This is right after he did by the late 60s, we will put a man on the moon, not because it's easy, but because it's hot.
Right.
It was right after that speech. They had that dinner there at the White House. He had all the top brass, all the fucking smartest of the smartest of the smart. And he looked around the room at the big dining table and everything, looked around the room and laughed, and everybody got quiet. And they looked at him. He says, I don't think that the amount of brain power has been amassed in this room since Thomas Jefferson dined alone.
I fuck with it.
That speaks volumes. Yeah, that speaks volumes. Well, and now, mind you, dude, in Texas, I think it was about 4 years ago, of course, it got repealed, thank God. But they were trying, some of the blue districts in Texas were trying to take away Thomas Jefferson from the reading because he was, quote unquote, too what do you call it when you're just off the walls? Like, what's it? Basically, is too extreme.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, one of his best quotes is, the tree of liberty, it must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, dude, that guy's literally says in some of his indoctrination, he's like, dude, like, literally, I think, literally, there should be a revolution once every 10 years to bleed out the old blood and let in new blood.
That's the little... We don't need a rebel.
Well, no, but see, again, you got to understand the way they spoke back then. They like to speak in double entendres. So basically, that may sound fucking crazy, but what he probably meant was like take the problem with Congress or where you have the Senate, you have infinite fucking term. Like what? How is that not a fucking recipe for fucking disaster?
Yeah, as a ruling class, you can just you can just
and that's what these people are. Will they're fucking dude? But the biggest giveaway during the fucking height of the pandemic, you had the fucking cheerleader of fucking cuntography, Nancy Pelosi, going to get her fucking hair did, and the bitch ain't wearing a mask. And that ought to say a lot of shit to people. That ought to say rules for thee, but not for me. You see, that's when your elitist bullshit has been jacked up to a level where it's like, this bitch is like smashed 24/7 sitting there, and she thinks she's cute ripping up Donald Trump's speech. She thinks it's cute.
She couldn't even rip it, dude.
Dude, she's fucking triggered. She'll probably fucking smash, dude. Watch that whole fucking video. She said they'll probably see a double. Like I don't remember seeing two Rand Pauls. No,
dude, she's but see, that's again like, you're not saying anything I could disagree with. Like, I may not entirely agree with the whole sentence, but like, bro, we need term limits. Some of the moderate left is just nowhere to be found. Right now, we're being overtaken by.
Well, no. Your moderate left has now become right-wing extremists. Keith.
Yeah.
Right, Will.
That's true. Well, I mean,
you are now considered right-wing, buddy.
Dude.
Welcome to the conservative party, Will.
Oh, well, I still believe in, choice and stuff, but no, I know what you're saying, because like I have no camp anymore. My camp was taken from me. I used to be like, oh yeah, no, I'm part of the liberal party. Like I'm all about, individual fucking choices and shit. All that's gone, dude. Like they took that away because, I'm, this anti-white Marxist shit is just.
And okay, here's the deal. It starts with anti-white, but it morphs. Okay, if you do any research at all, like, okay, there's like, for instance, there's a lot of defectors that, like, obviously when the Soviet Union collapsed and stuff like that, like, dude, they're scared for their lives here because they're seeing history repeat itself. Like, for instance, was it the huge swath of Venezuelans that came over to America voted Trump this last election because they saw this critical race bullshit, because the same thing happened. It just wasn't with race. It was with class.
Right.
Okay. Look, it's the same concept. Everything's the same. The only thing that's changing is topic. So, okay, well, obviously there's many races here in the United States. Well, let's pick on the white people. And understandably, I get it. Okay, my ancestors. Well, I don't know if mine did or whatever. But
well, I mean, let's be frank about something. All right, the reason why critical race theory is so appealing is because there's such a large demographic of individuals, minorities, you would say, that feel that they're repressed by white people, but it's not the case. Like, just look.
No. Well, the majority of the people pushing it, though,
are white,
rich,
white
kids.
Right, but see, here's the thing.
Hold on, Will. Rich white kids.
But here's the thing that's super paramount. We're sitting here pushing anti-white fucking bigotry under the rubric of like kindness and helping that of the poorer communities over the fact that 8% of Americans at the founding of our country to the day the Civil War happened, 8% of Americans owned slaves.
Right. Yeah. And I've heard all those arguments. Of course, if you're the 1619 Project, what you just said was all lies. But if you don't know what that is, please look it up. They're basically part of that. They're pushing the agenda of Whitey Devil, basically.
Right. No. Yeah.
Well, and here's the deal. Like, dude, if we're really gonna talk about it, like, we're gonna. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I don't care. My ancestry is predominantly Irish. Now,
right.
if you know anything about Irish history and Irish American history,
yeah, we were not liked.
Yeah, no, yeah.
No, yeah.
Dude, there's literally signs to this day you can find that say Irish welcome here, because there used to be a big thing where it's like Irish need not apply, Irish not welcome here.
Wasn't that
because we were seen as like the first wave of like immigrants they didn't want here,
right?
Even though we were white,
yeah. we were less welcome to America than slaves. Well, we own these motherfuckers so they can stay, but y'all motherfuckers looking for a better future running from Ireland, go catch a dick. It's like,
well, it's funny because one of my dad's friends, I grew up with him too. Like, he was like in the same biker group my dad was with or whatever, and we got into it one day, and he was going on, and at the time he was in college, so it's no surprise he's probably getting indoctrinated.
Already, that early, man, like 60 years ago, shit.
Yeah, no, well, it wasn't even that far. It was like this guy literally did college probably like I'd say about 4 or 5 years ago, but he waited till late in life to do it, basically. But he went and he was always kind of left leaning, anyways. But it's understandable. This is Hispanic; it's kind of in the culture. But either way, he basically we got into it on Facebook, and he goes. he goes, you know, like this, that about slavery. And I was like, well, I mean, dude, black people weren't the only slaves. There were Chinese. There were also white slaves. He goes, well, what do you mean white slaves? I was like, well, they were indentured servants. He goes, well, it's not the same thing. I was like, yes, this is the end of the day. You're a slave. You sell your rights to, you know, like basically to somebody for a allotted amount of time. You're still a slave. A slave is a slave just because it has a different name. Doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't mean, you know, like people don't realize a lot of Irish people, when they came over, they became indentured servants. That's how they had to pay for their fucking fare to get over here.
Right.
You know, they didn't have money. They were escaping a fucking famine. You know? Right. So, like, they come over here. It's like one of my favorite songs, you know, it's called Paddy's Lamentation. And in the song, he goes, he came over to America, and the minute he stepped onto the docks, they shoved a gun into his hand and said, "You got to go fight for Lincoln." You know, like, that's what happened. You had two choices when you got off that boat, motherfucker. You know, you had two choices. You go fight in the war, or you fucking go to jail. Those are your options. Now, I don't remember any other ethnic group having that problem. You know, like,
well, and see, and look, this is the part that to me is super crazy, man. I don't even know if it's true, but I know some aspects of it are true. Like, so slavery had nothing to do with the color of your skin, dude. It just didn't. There was a slave trade.
Well, see, and Will, you know, I know you're part Irish, but you're also part Jewish. You know?
Oh yeah.
So so you had a double trouble, bro.
Dude, we can't even get a fucking, like, dude, the hardcore left is for Palestine, bro. We already know this.
Dude, the only thing I can think of you being half Jew and half Irish, like, what are you, like, conservative with your whiskey or something? Like, you know, like...
Yeah. Bro, you should see me with some whiskey, dog. I turn into a whole different nigga. But the very concept of it all just seems ridiculous, because the first people to sell slaves, like, there's a slave trade. Well, not the first people to ever sell. Like, slaves go all the way back to, like, ancient Egypt and shit, where my Jewish brothers got fucked the first time. But let's see here. What was I trying to say?
Well, it just had to do with, like, okay, here's the deal. Like, my dad kind of explained it to me this way, and look, it could be fucked up or not, but, you know, it's like when they try to, like, attach white guilt to, like, stealing Native American lands, and it's like...
Nigga, we went to war and I whooped that ass!
No, well, okay, well, and see, to a degree, what you're saying is correct. It's like, look, my dad pointed out to me, he says, look, throughout the annals of history, no matter what history book you pick up, history is always written by the winner, okay? How many people were a conquered race? Think about that. How many people were conquered? There were always a conqueror and always the conquered, okay? Yeah. Same thing happened with the Spanish going into Mexico. Same thing with the whites coming into America. Same thing with, you know, like, and it wasn't just, dude, that's what I'm saying. It's like, there's always been a conquered people. I don't want to say race. There's always been a conquered people. The Mongolians, for fuck's sake, did it to all of China and the known world.
Oh yeah, no, they put their dick on that fucking, you know, that. On.
I read a deal one time, but this is no shit or sort of like weird facts, you know. It says Genghis Khan had so many children that it's estimated that at least 4% of the entire population of the world can trace their lineage back to Genghis Khan.
Could you imagine how insignificant that'd make you feel?
I mean, what? You'd be like my great grandfather. I mean, I'm really pretty cool.
No. You looking at it? Yeah. No, you're looking at it through a fucking. I'm talking about through the lens that you are so insignificant that you share such a massive fucking pool of fucking family. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, I mean, but here's the deal. Will, think about it. All of us do.
I don't know, brother. I don't know.
No, I'm serious. Think about it, bro. Like, humans... Okay, here's the deal. Like, actually, one of my favorite comedians said this. Gallagher, you're probably not well aware because it's from the 80s, but...
Yeah.
Gallagher was
Is he the one that...
my favorite comedians.
Was he the long-haired guy?
Watermelon.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he also did actual stand-up comedy, too. It wasn't just all smashy, you know? But one of my favorite bits he goes, we come from a long line of descendants of cavemen. He goes, and we weren't the big British cavemen. They died off fighting the dinosaurs we're the descendants of the quick itty bitty motherfuckers who are able to get back to the caves. You know, like you gotta think about it. You know, like.
Well, yeah.
Well, we're all descended from ancient peoples. Now, here's the deal: the only thing that has remained constant in this whole, if you want to call it evolution or whatever, but the evolution.
Oh, wait! With the finger quotes evolution, son? You can't be coming at me like that.
No. I mean evolution as far as like how we've transcended through the ages. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Or, hold on, let me use the Webster dictionary through the aeons. How we have transcended through the aeons. We literally still are tribal to this day. To this very day, we are tribal.
Yeah, we're a tribal people.
Well, yeah, and I mean it's always going to remain that way. Okay, it doesn't matter what happens. Okay, well, let's take it back to Lord of War. You know, like because you know, like have you ever seen that movie with Nicolas Cage? I highly recommend it if you've never seen it.
Everyone's seen Lord of War. Come on, dog. That opening,
it's the greatest movie. Great, yeah, exactly. He's like since the beginning of time, there's always been a fucking spear found in a ribcage. You know,
yeah.
He's like, there's always been war because we're a tribal people. You know, and that's just how it is. We have to.
Well, and we have to do that. Yeah, you're right. Because people have to write themselves in tribes.
Yeah, and then not only that, I honestly believe it's actually helpful. I mean, people are like, "Wait, are you like justifying war?" Well, no, I'm not justifying war, but it does help thin the herd. You know, like.
Well, if that's that's one way to save the ozone.
I mean, to a degree, I do believe in some form of population control, but it's not as dire drastic as the globalists.
I don't think we need population control. We just keep teaching kids the way we've been teaching them for the past 10 years, and they might just take care of themselves.
Dude, we just need to remove all the warning labels and just let it sort itself out, dude.
But the idea that we have to write ourselves in tribes is crazy to me. Because, every fundamental part of my belief structure is built upon the sanctity of the individual, and yet even I, as a person, identify in few tribes. Not tribes in, the traditional sense of what it means to be in a tribe like it used to.
No, I know what you mean, just social circles.
Yes,
really.
Social circles. I'm slightly left-leaning. I'm a gamer. You know, these things are tribes that we put ourselves in. And then we try and diversify those tribes even further by coming up with niche versions of those same tribes. I'm a gamer, but you don't catch me playing Call of Duty. So, I'm not a so you start breaking it down further and further to create further and further division. At one point, so you have to identify with a tribe in order to make it in a world where you feel completely alone. So you need to identify with the tribe. But when is it that the tribe starts to overtake the individual? And that to me is the scary concept and what boils down to identity politics. Well,
and that's what's being pushed. You see, that's scary. That should scare the ever living shit out of everybody. Because our country's literally supposed to be, dude, it's about you. You are able to increase your lot in life here. If you learn if you educate yourself,
right.
If you learn how to hedge versus things, if you educate yourself in finance, if you educate yourself in whatever X or Y, you have every power in this country to make it to the upper echelons.
Right.
Hell, even the elites. Well, okay, unless you're Donald Trump. But
he lived a pretty good life for about 70 years.
But the Twitterati wouldn't have any of it.
Blue-haired dykes.
No, yeah, a bunch of blue-haired fucking artards. Anyhow, no, I'm sorry. I shouldn't. Look, because I know that the problem is I don't want to say anything bad about them because to some degree I do sympathize with them.
Well, see, and that's something that's really important, right? Like I sincerely believe that a majority of people, either on the left or the right, or even on the far fringes of either, their ultimate goal isn't to, they might hate liberals or they might hate, right-wing people. But the goal that they're pushing, they're doing it through the lens or the idea or the narrative, the idea that they are doing the right thing for the betterment of other people. So, it's...
Yeah. Well, yeah, but again, looking through that lens, how fucking cynical does that make that?
Oh, that they think they figured it out?
Yeah, exactly. That, you know what? Black people can't take care of themselves, so I gotta help them.
Well, yeah, no. It's definitely fucked. But their intentions, like that's no one intentionally sets out to be the bad guy in any story.
Well, right. No, of course not. But I mean, nobody ever sets out to be the good guy either.
That is not true.
I mean, not really. Like, I mean, there's such a thing as an anti-hero. Come on, man, pick up the comic book.
Yeah, no, they do exist, you know, but you honestly believe the same, like, because, like, so the thing that I'm trying to pinpoint, as you look at the hardcore left that's on Twitter, that's on fucking Facebook, and they're in there preaching every single day about her body, her choice, even over the most extreme circumstances, like her body, her choice, even 10 days later, 20 years later, you know what I mean? Like, eventually, like, apparently you can take away your permission to fuck long after the fact, which is ridiculous. So those. Well,
yeah, but what's the funniest part about this, Will? The funniest part about that is the majority of the people preaching that are a lot of these leftists that don't even want kids.
Right. Oh, see, and that's what I'm trying to get to. They're these hardcore leftists that have been brainwashed by an ideology that no longer is concerned about the well-being of an individual, and they're more concerned about the way they appear to other people, and they're so enshrined in this mentality that they have to help other people, and they've somehow figured it out.
Well, see, like, here's the deal. Like, when it came to, like, abortion, like, and this is where, like, I give you my stand on it. Like, look, at one point in my younger years, I almost thought about getting one with one of my girlfriends because she told me she was pregnant. And, like, the reason I even remotely considered it, and at the time I wasn't, like, you know, any political affiliation or anything like that. Like, right. It was literally just like, I'm too young to have a kid. I will not be able to financially support this child. And I gave her two options. I said, it's either abortion or adoption, pick one. And I mean, that's kind of asshole-ish of me to say, but at the same time, like, I was still young and naive, and there was no fucking way I could raise it.
Right.
You know, me or her. It would have just been detrimental to our lives, you know. And here I am. I have 3 of them now, and they're all blessings. I love my children. But the problem is, you know, my whole argument on it is, look, if it's threatening the woman's life, or it was like rape.
Well,
okay, I could say, you know what, wholeheartedly, by all
see,
means.
finally something we could disagree on. Fuck, man, we've been needing this.
No. But see, I'm also a huge proponent for adoption. You know, like, dude, there's options. You know,
right.
Like, okay, because see, like, the abusers of the system are these women who are just too lazy to go get a fucking thing thrown up in their cooch, or take a fucking shot, or get really fucking forgetful on taking a pill. For Christ's sakes, we have 3 modes of contraception. For fuck's sakes, learn them. And in fact, 4. Wrap it up. Okay? Right. So we have many forms of stopping this problem. Okay? Literally, the outliers I mentioned are the problem. Like, right. Literally, rape. Okay? That's understandable. I wouldn't want to raise somebody else's kid, especially if I got molested. I get it. You know? I wouldn't want that fucking burden. You know? I couldn't sit there and look at that kid every day and be like, oh, well, you know what, you're a product of me, you know, wrong place, wrong time. You know, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, dude, like, or life-threatening, where it's like, dude, it's the baby or the mother. It's like, dude, like, yeah, we're still walking on moral ground here, but.
Well, so. That one brings that one brings, like, I agree with the whole argument. If it's about to kill a woman, obviously, fucking, you know, we all have our own innate drive of self-preservation. That's a human.
Well, that's a human trait.
Yeah. So self-preservation, obviously, always. But see, for me, it fringes on a few different things. I think that there should be a limit. You know what I mean?
Well, okay. That's what I'm getting at, and I agree with you. Like, I'm talking about the people abusing the system are these blue-haired fucking dykes going out there and getting knocked up willy-nilly, not fucking using protection, just being like, I like to get cum shut up in my cunt, you know? Like,
Yeah.
They have like a fucking pregnancy fetish, or maybe even a fucking sick twisted abortion fetish. I don't know.
Right.
Okay. But that's what I'm saying. Like the problem is with a small demographic.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's been inflated to this mountain of a fucking molehill.
Right.
Okay. Which should be the size of a molehill, but it's a fucking mountain.
Oh no, yeah,
okay?
yeah.
It is again spurred on by both extremes
Right.
of the political spectrum. People like you and me can understand there's arguable causes on both sides, and we can see to some degree where we can have common ground and meet.
Yeah. So for example, let's like abortion primarily affects those in the black community. I think it's like I don't know the exact number, but I think for some reason I had the number 82 floating around in my head. Like 82% abortions are done in the black family.
Right.
No,
and I understand that because there's a lot of inherent issues. Again,
right.
It just gets back to the way that they've been treated by the Democratic Party, but they don't know it.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Eventually.
Either way.
All right. So I'm for abortion, dude. If someone but there are limiters on what I'm willing. Like I don't accept life. Like as soon as a guy nuts in you, I don't really call that life. I don't really call the little orb of whatever it is life yet. But it depends. Like so, I'm not for like late term abortions.
Well, see, and I and that's where I disagree because like think about it. How is it that microbiological fucking bacteria on Mars is considered life, but a heartbeat isn't life on Earth?
Well, I don't really consider either. But see, no. But see, I don't consider either life. You know what I mean?
Well, that's where I disagree. Like, it's to me like, dude, here's the deal. If you are that dumb to where you can't fucking use 4 different forms of contraceptive, like me, I'm telling you, when I was young, I was dumb. I made that dumbass mistake. I was like, oh, what was that coming, woman? I didn't know any better. Maybe we need better sex education, but started around like 13 or 14. That way you can go home and jack off about it later. But,
right, yeah.
But what I'm getting at here is, look, I'm also that person, and this is a far-flung spectrum, okay? I'm also that person that, honestly, like, dude, what if that fucking fetus, or whatever it is, life or not, what if that being, whatever it is, whatever it was going to grow up to be, what if it was that motherfucker that had the theory or the equation to get us off this fucking rock?
Yeah, but again... Like, if you believe in time as a linear thing, like...
I don't.
Well, that kid would never be born if he got killed anyway. You like...
Well, I mean, look, here's the deal. Like, the universe is so massive and so like, it expands so much. It's so massive, it's so mind-bogglingly massive that to even ponder about it should just blow your fucking mind into smithereens. But it keeps expanding. It never stops expanding, right?
Right.
It's going and going and going and going and going and going. It keeps getting bigger every year, according to what scientists believe. And I mean, they're the only ones who really kind of know at this point. But I'm a huge proponent to believe that there's nothing that is impossible. It's just highly improbable.
Right.
Okay. That's why I'll never say something is impossible, because to do that, you're already basically negating the fact that the universe is fucking gargantuanly huge, and well, now there's evidence to believe that there's also, alternate dimensions. So, I mean, there's nothing that's impossible. It's just highly improbable.
Yeah, but
now when you break it down to a probability standard, you start looking at these through a different lens, different
spectrum. Yep. Yeah. But see, but again, we only have access to our timeline, right? So, like,
of course, yeah.
So for example, if what that kid could have been.
Well, do you think the future is written? Do you believe that, or do you think it's just all random nonsense thrown together at once, like in a Oscar blender?
I feel like life itself is just an accident, and there's no divine plan by anything.
And see, that's where that's where we're going to differ. I actually believe in. Here's the deal. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this. I don't want to. I say God, but I really believe in like a supreme energy source that basically everything spawns from.
Well, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with spirituality, man. Like
no. It's not spirituality. It's more scientific than that. Okay, see, like unlike most people, I've been dead before. You want me to tell you what it's like? You know,
What?
ask a motherfucker. You know, like.
But still,
I've been dead. Trust me, there ain't no bright lights at the end of the fucking tunnel.
yeah, but I still feel like the concept of telling people what to do with their body.
No. I don't think people have the right to do that unless it causes harm to yourself.
Right.
Okay?
No.
That's why I used to always laugh and say, "Why is suicide illegal?" And I'm like, "Oh wait, they're like harming themselves." That makes sense.
Yeah, and
You know,
our
like-
society, as like, see, this is like, oh my god, dude, I'm so glad you brought that up, because you know how many times I hear the stupid argument, well, the cops were mean to me because I was trying to kill myself, and it's like, do you understand that it is their
It's
in
the law, right? Dumbass.
yeah, it's well, one, it's against the law. Two, it goes against what it, like the way that we define humanism in our society. The
Well, yeah,
intrinsic
I mean,
value.
If I walk into a room with a guy with a gun to his head, I mean, look. Okay, no, I shouldn't answer that. Go ahead and go.
Well, like, so for example, like the value that we're supposed to do is defend the sanctity of that life at all, even at the behest of a fucking ass whooping. The sanctity of your life is more important than your choice to whether you want to take it or not.
I feel it. Yeah. I mean, because, like, dude, like, and here's the deal for anybody who may be listening and be like, well, he's just anti-suicide and doesn't understand mental health problem. Like, there's a reason I've been dead before, kiddos. It's because daddy tried to pull the plug. So, you know, I mean, when you take 29 200 milligram Seroquel pills, it's not a very fun trip. In fact, you don't remember half of it. But what you do remember is there are no bright lights inside the end of the tunnel, and you remember punching a doctor after they inserted a catheter up your penis. So, I mean, there's right sides to the story on all sides.
So, like, straight up through the fucking woo-ha, right?
Yeah, dude, like, that woke me up, dude. I was like, to give you an idea, when I got to the hospital, I was DOA. Like, I was dead as a doornail. Like,
So
they had already, I died, like, okay, because I lived 15 miles outside of town.
Okay, hold on. There's a discrepancy. There's a discrepancy here, though. If you were dead on arrival, why were they putting a catheter in your fucking U-Haul?
Because they were able to bring me back.
Oh, so like I thought the catheter going in your cock is what saved your life.
No,
It woke you.
maybe it did. I at that point I was having a out of body experience. What I saw. No, I'm not going to be one of those guys and claim that shit. But no,
what I saw was 3 goat heads telling me to go out and fuck.
and therefore that's why I tried to fucking just fuck everything that could walk. Pulse optional.
Pulse.
It's terrible.
Canceled episode 1.
Hey, dude, it'd be the most epic podcast ever made. No, but only in my own mind. But no, what I'm getting at is like, so I was DOA. I was like, well, I had to back up because like the way I decided to go out was like I mean, honestly, like this will kind of tell you the kind of person I am. Got that total Napoleon complex going on. Like, dude, like I put on Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata on repeat. And I fucking took 29 200 milligram Seroquels and downed it with a bottle of Hennessy. I was like, and I don't even like Hennessy, bro. Ugh, I don't understand how people drink it. But I was like, I can give a fuck at that point. I was like, let's go, kids. I was like, strap her up because we're going home.
Oh, wee.
Yeah, so what happened was, like, it was just all flashes. I remember answering the door to my grandma being like, what'd you do? And then, like, blacking out and then waking up in my bed again somehow. With I say my step-grandpa because he wasn't really my grandpa, but he was there, like, trying to keep me awake, and then I'd black out. And then, like, I remember being on the stretcher, being carted out of the house, and then I black out. And I remember waking up in the ambulance, and it was actually a black guy, a black EMT that saved my life, quote unquote, a couple times, because he refused to give up on me, and I don't even remember his name or whatever, but guardian angel right there. Thank you, sir. Anyhow, that's all I remember is a black guy saved my life, and
then he grew up to be written on. Fucking.
then we went out and celebrated. I wish it had a happy ending like that. Oh, a happy ending! No, it didn't. There was no massage parlor happy ending on this one. I bought the T-shirt, rode the ride. Anyhow,
Didn't get a refund.
Total tourist about it too. Anyhow, so nonetheless, basically, I remember getting I remember going through the door, like the double doors in the hospital, and then I black out. And then I remember, and mind you, they've already shocked me like 4, maybe 5 times.
How obese were you at this time?
I mean, I wasn't as fat as I am now. I mean,
Okay.
I was a much more strapping fellow, but yes, I was still a heavy.
Well, because I'm just wondering, because I have no idea how much longer until I'll be visiting this wonderful medical system that we have here in America with some form of a heart attack or not. I'm 32, baby. I'm touching up on them numbers.
Well, I'm 35, so don't worry. Well, you'll be all right. If I'm this fat and I'm still okay, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
There's actually genetics to be argued on that one. But anyhow, so basically, I remember coming to 3 days. Well, okay, yeah, it was 2 days, 3 days later. I remember coming to, and at this point, I wasn't talking with my father at all. Me and him had kind of falling out for the last couple of years, and I remember the first thing that I saw when I came to was my dad and my oldest brother standing there, and the minute they got the news, they rushed up because they got a phone call from, I guess, the medical people or whatever. But I hadn't seen my dad in years at this point. Right. And I remember it was my dad and my oldest brother, and they were standing over me and crying. Now, you have to understand, I had never, ever seen my dad cry, ever.
Oh, no, it's a weird experience, dude.
Yeah, no, my dad has always been the hardest motherfucker I've ever known. I'm talking, this motherfucker was digging post holes on 88 acres of land in western Kansas at the age of 10.
Yeah. A different kind of man from a different era where men were men. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my dad for you. He was born in 46. That'll give you an idea.
Right.
My dad technically is the essential boomer. But my dad was my grandfather was Democrat. My dad was Republican. It's kind of weird how it happened, but either way, my dad, I'd never seen him cry up until that moment. And now my oldest brother, he's 20 years older than me. And it's weird because my dad's exactly 20 years older than my oldest brother. So my dad was 20 when he had my oldest brother, and then when my oldest brother was 20, my dad had me. So and I'm the youngest son, or the youngest male. So right. From the youngest male to the oldest male is 20 years. From the oldest sibling to my dad, it's another 20 years. So it's exactly 2020. It's so weird.
The fuck is happening on 2020? Is your family taking over the White House?
Dude, that's exactly what's going on. 2020, 2024, whatever. No, but yeah, dude. I mean, it's a weird experience. My oldest brother is arguably the baddest motherfucker I've ever known. That motherfucker is just bad to the bone. I'm talking, if you want to talk intimidation factor, I ain't scared of shit. I ain't scared of nobody. But my oldest brother, that's the scariest motherfucker I've ever met in my life. No, I'm telling you, I've seen him do some shit. I would never, pass.
I just hear fucking Dr. Evil going, no! I can't even do it, dude.
Dude, no, but both of them were crying. Both of them just bawling their eyes out, dude. And that's actually the day that I vowed I would never take my life ever again.
So yeah,
if I'm gonna go God or higher creator, whatever you want to believe, that whoever's in charge of that department, they're gonna have to fucking do it because I ain't doing it.
Well, see, that's kind of where I'm just so lazy. I can't make that decision on my own.
I mean, it's not that I was lazy. I think I have no fear.
Well, it's also
I think my dad sees that. He always just tells me, he's like, out of all my kids, you're the only one that just had absolutely zero fear. There's nothing that scared you. You were never afraid to take a risk, and I never have been.
So I'll tell you what.
And sometimes I wonder if I'm a psychopath.
I'll tell you what's weird about that is you and your dad were having this huge argument. And then, to wake up to him just being there and getting to see him, because there's a lot, so there are a lot of misconceptions, man, I worked in some weird industries in my day, and I remember I was working for this place called Bank of Oklahoma Financial, and I was sitting there taking lost draft calls. It's one thing.
You were in Oklahoma?
No, I wasn't in Oklahoma. I was somewhere else.
Anyhow, keep going.
So here I am working for this bank, man, taking these phone calls of destroyed homes and destroyed shit, and the world prepares you greatly for a woman crying. It happens all the time. They cry when they just get heated. They cry when they feel overwhelmed. They cry when they get, women are just naturally more accepting of their emotions on average than, men are. So hearing a woman cry is never, I've slept with women. They've all cried afterwards when they realize how bad it is. You know what I'm saying? So I got used to the sound of women crying. It never meant anything to me. But the day I heard a grown man cry, that shook me to my goddamn core.
I know this is supposed to be serious, but I'm going to go off on a tangent here.
Let's do it.
Because I never seen a grown man cry. I was like, you ever seen a house fly? No, I ain't never seen a house fly. You ever seen a horse fly? No, I ain't never seen a horse fly. I've seen an elephant fly,
It's just a weird concept, right?
I know, yeah.
So
compare. I get it. Yeah.
So compare that to your situation, right? Like you were out there beefing with your dad, and then all of a sudden, it all ended. Essentially, you were ready to say goodbye and put your dick in the dirt.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Because at that point, I
give it one last.
Goes on kind of the story goes on in a weird way. So, at the time, I was living with my mother, who, that should have been mistake number one, but. And my biological mother, my stepmother, God bless her heart, she's one of the greatest women ever lived. As far as she was always there for me. She still is.
Right.
My mother kind of cut out on us when I was young. So I mean, that's why a lot of the times I get told that I'm pretty cold. And it's because it's not by intention. It's just, dude, I was raised by my dad.
Yeah.
So my dad was very stern. Very, well, okay, so. It was weird because, when Mom cut out, Mom was kind of like, the Jesus freak. She was like, I'm talking this woman uses Jesus as a crutch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And believe me when I tell you this, I went to an all-Christian school growing up.
Ugh.
Dude, I didn't even know what rock music was until I was fucking 12, bro. Yeah, dude. I was a very sheltered child. And so that's why, it's like when she left, I was just I became Sam Kinison about it. I was like, I wanted to taste it all, I wanted to dabble in sin a little bit,
Yeah,
but my dad was always kind of loosey goosey, but still stern, I remember being 12, 13 years old in a bar in Mexico with my dad and his biker buddies getting drunk on a weekday.
Right.
Dude, how many kids could say they were at a bar with their dad in Mexico getting trashed and don't remember coming home?
Well, see, that's the perfect fucking thing, though, right? Because all the stories where I got to do with something a little extra were always with my dad. You know what I mean? Dad.
Yeah. Well, I think it's from father to son. They try to allow their son to sow their royal oats, if you will, a little bit more freely because they don't want them making the potential same mistakes that they made, and I have my father to thank for me not being a stone raving alcoholic. Yeah, people sit there and look at it. You're drinking at a bar with your dad at 12. It's well, dude, by the time I turned 21, alcohol was kind of boring.
Right. You didn't romanticize it all the way up. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of partied my ass off all the way from fucking teenage years up to 21.
During the time when your body can handle it, and it's see now.
Yeah. Dude, I remember being at a party in high school and somebody taking the 32-ounce big gulps you get from a fucking gas station.
Yeah.
And they filled it full of vodka, just pure fucking vodka. There was no mixture in there. It was just vodka. And this is how crazy high school kids are. Because, fuck it, you give them liquor and see what's going to happen.
Right.
And I remember them going, announcing to the party, whoever drinks this entire thing in one gulp is the king of the party. And I fucking grabbed it and slammed the whole fucking thing. Dude, I couldn't dream of that now.
No.
I couldn't even remotely No, dude, I would literally I would wake up the next morning and my liver would be sitting next to me, like telling me "fuck off." You know, like
yeah, hey man, I'm out of that. Because like, dude, I feel
with a cup of coffee and a cigarette. You know, like
I feel like your liver, like because you're a white boy, right? Like you're a white boy, but the rest of you is Mexican. I feel like your liver is Mexican. You're just gonna pop out and be like, "Hey, vato, never again."
well, I'm technically not Mexican at all. I was just raised in the culture.
Well, I know you're not Mexican at all, but like you've adopted their way. Like your liver just became Mexican, dude. He switched races.
Well, you better be careful because some of your lefty friends out there call me a culture vulture.
Hey man, I've seen Irish women. There's a reason why we drink in the first place.
Well, I've seen Irish women. There's a reason I married a Mexican. Yeah, you can keep all that.
Oh, I say that, but I love redheads, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I'm joking. I mean, like, I've never railed out a redhead, dude. Like, it's honestly, like, I mean, no surprise. I mean, I grew up in a 95% Hispanic community, but like, if you found a redhead down there, whoa, you know. She's a Corvette, and she's arguably dating the most popular kids.
Yeah, drive it like. So, but isn't that such a weird thing? Like, so you can go literally from one moment on the door of death, and then moments later reconcile with your dad just because, like, what's all of this shit, the minutia of your everyday life, even the stuff that you think is super important at the time, means nothing in the grand scale of your existence.
Well, okay, hold on, Bill Nye.
Bill Nye?
Yeah, shocker. Let me tell you. Let me tell you how it is, kid. No matter what you do in life, no matter what you accomplish, no matter what you aspire to, or whatever you do, it's nothing but a cosmic fart in the wind of time.
Right.
So, like, really, for people to sit here and say, I have X and Y accomplishment, I this and that, it's like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm more worried about that asteroid hurling towards our planet, or I'm worried about if the poles are going to shift again. I'm worried about fucking Yellowstone exploding. I'm worried about, I'm more worried about shit that's going to fucking kill us, and we're still stuck here on this goddamn rock because blue-haired fucking cuntbag wants me to know I'm evil for being white.
Yeah, but But see, all right, you've gone to the blue-haired enemy so many times.
I have to. It's the current political climate. It's like I have another fucking choice. Okay, because of fucking blue-haired cunt in fucking China. Okay?
No. See, I don't even think it's the blue-haired psychopaths, man. I don't even think they're entirely to blame. I think it comes down to the fucking multi-billion-dollar companies and the ruling class.
Oh yeah, no. Again, the reason I'm mad about the blue-haired cuntbags is because they're the army. They're the army of useful idiots that just keep marching towards their tune. We're like, we're right and you're wrong because you're white. Like, no, dude, you're being used by multinational fucking corporations. You're just fucking stupid to know the fucking difference. Okay,
But see that is such.
Come at me again.
There is a scary anti-white sentiment that's happening that I feel like it's being widely only recognized by the right. And
well, again, because here's the deal. Again, you're gonna have no matter where you go in life, no matter what you're talking about, no matter what tribe you're talking about, you're going to have extremists on all ends.
Right.
Okay? And I'm talking about like Q or QAnon, whatever they call themselves. Anonymous or fucking, the Westboro Baptist fucking church. Yeah? You're always going to have fucking extremists, okay? These people have warped senses of reality. Okay?
Right.
And the fact of the matter is the reason they're so fucking warped is because they're so gullible, they'll fall for anything. And rather than seek the objective truth, they are more comfortable in their bubble of fucking idiocracy than trying to actually pop the bubble and step out. Rather than use critical fucking thinking skills, okay? rather than like, see, that's the problem. That's what I get at. Well, like the majority of people are stupid. Okay, kids know this.
Right.
They know it. They just,
that's what they want.
They fucking exactly. They fund the education system. Okay?
Right. That's
if they want you to know how. If they want you to know how fiscal monetary, and all that crap goes, like they want you to know that, you would understand how their house of cards could just be fucking farted on and fall over. But rather than be fucking, righteous or noble or whatever, you know what I'm going at. The whole point is, look, they want you stupid for a reason. Okay? And anybody who's going to argue that, like, dude, I mean, if you're that stupid, by all means, keep drinking the fucking Kool-Aid. Like, if you can't step away and look at the big picture, like, I like to give people this analogy. I'm kind of a fan of art. I know that sounds crazy, but one of my favorite pastimes as a kid growing up was going to, like, museums. I love museums.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm a history buff, bro. I can sit up there and jerk off to Tutankhamun. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm a history buff, but for like Japan, like.
Yeah, that's dude, I love all history. It doesn't matter. Dude.
Yeah.
Chinese, Japanese, Korean, like it doesn't matter. I'm just a child of knowledge. Okay, I love to pack my brain with the most useless bullshit that will only help me on Jeopardy. But the fact of the matter is I like to know. Like I've never understood how a person in this modern day and age could have something like the fucking internet and not want to use full fucking advantage of it other than porn, than to like educate themselves. Because, dude, you have the freest education in the world. That's how I don't understand how like colleges are still getting away with this whole fucking pyramid scheme they got going on. It's like all these fucking kids go and get indoctrinated by these fucking socialists. Then when they come out, they can't pay their fucking bill because guess what? They want to argue for fucking socialism.
So let me run this by you then. So you're a capitalist, right? You believe in the capitalistic nature that we have this country set up, right?
I believe there needs to be a duality. I believe there needs to be a comfortable marriage between capitalism and socialism.
Well, yeah, no, yeah.
But I'm not talking about like full blown Marxist socialism. I'm talking like I believe that people are inherently going to need help,
right?
Because of the current hierarchy and the systems that the evils, quote unquote, that arise out of capitalism.
No,
I'm not arbitrarily blind.
Yeah, you can't go. Yeah, you can't go too far either on one spectrum. You always need to off kilter it. But
again, this is why I'm center right. I believe there needs to be a comfortable medium.
Right. So, but like you do believe in capitalism, right? Like the idea that's
yeah, without a doubt. Okay, here's the deal. It's the only time to test fucking proven method.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm a capitalist through and through. I got you, Doug. Here's my thing, though.
Capitalist is probably what I should say.
Yeah. I believe in the free market of ideas. I believe in freedom of speech. Do whatever the fuck you want. So here's my thing. Why is it okay to start banning critical race theory?
Well, I mean, okay.
I'm against critical race. Like I'm against the theory itself. But shouldn't
you want me to answer that? Really? Okay. That's actually honestly, that's not even a hard answer.
What you got?
That's honestly, it's a very easy sell. Because look, I understand critical race theory. It's very enticing. It's very alluring. It's very sexy, if you will, because it kind of goes against the norms of what you're taught in school, and that's understandable. And here's the deal: it's just like communism. It's very alluring. It's like you want it to work. It looks good on paper, right?
Right.
But in practice, it's detrimental to people. Period.
Yeah, but
because what's going to happen? Okay, here's the deal. Okay, well, go ahead.
What I'm not saying the actual principle. I'm thinking about why should we ban it from school? Well,
first off, because in school, what are you supposed to learn? What physically constitutes an education?
Well, see, that's unknown. Most schools just teach you the basics on how to get a job and how to exist as a fucking ant. But the premise is the idea that freedom of speech is the thing. So if someone wants to teach critical race theory, should it not be allowed? Should it not exist in the marketplace of ideas and let the best idea win?
Well, no, because see, here's the deal. You have to understand in the annals of education, there's always got to be something there. It's called fact. Okay? And we wouldn't teach math if it wasn't factual. We wouldn't teach history if it wasn't factual. We wouldn't teach English if it wasn't factual.
Yeah, but
okay, it has to exist in the realm of fact. It's science. Science exists in a realm of fact until proven otherwise.
But there are things taught like evolution and the Big Bang.
Okay, hold on. Now hold on. But see, here's the deal. That actually was never like ratified or amended to actually be put into the education system. Teachers just started teaching it without the authority of the parents' children. But what they figured out, because I mean, dude, Charles Darwin himself on his deathbed admitted that it was like far-fetched, and his theory was probably 100% totally bogus, not factual whatsoever. But and now I'm talking like monkeys to humans. I mean, obviously we do share very similar traits in the DNA structure, but we're not the same. Like, if that were the case, monkeys would still be evolving into humans to this day, right? You know, like, I understand evolution to a degree. Like, I believe in genetic evolution. Yeah, that happens. That's the reason why like, our molars, like, in the back of our teeth, like, people don't realize it, but, like, the molars in the back of your teeth were from prehistoric days when man didn't cook food. Okay?
Right.
So you used to get an extra row in the back to help you grind down on that fucking meat. Okay? To grind down on that gristle to get all the fucking calcium nutrients. Well, guess what? Over time, man started cooking their food. And, well, what happened? Our brains fucking developed. Our fucking teeth started receding. Like, things like we evolved. Yeah, genetic evolution is a very real fucking thing. But if you're going to sit there and tell me that I come from a fucking monkey, nah, bro. It still needs to be happening to this day. I'm telling you what, Bubbles, Michael Jackson's monkey Bubbles, needs to turn into a fucking human right now.
I doubt that motherfucker's even alive, bro. But
he's not anymore. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, theoretically, like that's what Darwin was trying to say. He's trying to say, like, oh, we come from monkeys. Like, it's like, no, well, okay. I will give Darwin the benefit of the doubt. He was probably okay. Because here we go. All right, kids, tinfoil hat time. I believe to a degree that we were genetically engineered by aliens. I think that's more feasible.
Fucking Alex Jones, like, episode 1!
No, you're talking about, man. No. Look, there's a lot of substantial evidence that could be a thing. You know?
There's
like,
also evidence that the Earth is flat. We both know that's not the case.
I know, but dude, okay, but here's the deal. What's more plausible? What's more plausible in that scenario? So you got a bunch of aliens come down here and said, oh man, look, dude, they have all these resources like gold and silver and like all this crap, and the other aliens look at the other aliens like, well, I ain't gonna fucking mine that shit. The other alien looks at him, I ain't gonna mine that shit. They look at the other aliens like, I'm a doctor. Don't worry, I got this handled. See that fucking ape monkey man over there? Grab that motherfucker. I'm gonna splice him with some of our DNA. Give him a little fucking intelligence. Tell him to shut the fuck up and dig my gold.
Hey,
I'm
man.
just saying.
It's got a decent plot. It's definitely a movie I'd watch.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I need some popcorn to that shit. But that's what I'm saying. Like, Tom Cruise is a monkey. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe Tom Cruise is a monkey. He'd be like, get down there, Uta, Uta. You know, like he'll be down there like, Uta, Uta, good. You know, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how they talk. They probably spoke Sumerian.
Look, so like, I'm against critical race theory. I mean, I'll happily debate that shit all day. I
feel it.
I'm just not sure.
You're looking at it through the libertarian lens, and I don't blame you for that.
Yeah, and I'm just not sure banning.
You want to cultivate. Well, you want to cultivate all ideas. Okay, that is the true calling card of a libertarian. You wish to cultivate all ideas, regardless of how far-fetched they sound.
Well, yeah, because
okay? and I feel that, and also because you don't want to silence somebody who may have a valid fucking point, and I get that. However, this is not good. This is not. Dude, I can't agree with it. It's not because I'm white. You know, like all those fucking blue-haired fucking Kool-Aid drinkers. I have to say it's because I'm white, but whatever. You know, look, let me culture vulture here. All right, you know, like, look. All I'm trying to say is, I don't think it's good for a society. Okay, look, I understand white people did some fucked up shit. Because believe me, I've heard about it all my life, and now it's a fucking problem now. And I don't understand it because you know, we're so far away from Dr. King's vision, you know, like currently, where he'd be rolling in his grave seeing what the fuck they're doing to him, you know, like.
Right.
Dude.
Well, see, and
Like,
that's why that's
like-
super easy to argue against critical race theory. Like,
Well, here's the deal, man. Like, you ever seen a magician? You ever, like, just watch a magic show?
yeah.
Like, I'm dead serious. Like,
Oh, like, actually?
you know,
No, I've seen
Yeah.
Steve do some tricks. That's about it.
right. But still, like, okay, well, still, Steve was using sleight of hand. Every magician knows that. I know it because I do card tricks and stuff.
Right.
Okay, you use sleight of hand. It's basically you make your audience focus on one thing, while in your other hand, all the quote unquote magic is going down. It's actually the illusion. The illusion is what's going down. Okay, and basically that's what the elites have done. This is literally where we're standing. They literally have us fighting amongst ourselves. That way they can continue perpetually fucking extract value from us. as
Oh, no.
individuals.
I totally am on
Yeah.
par with that. It's just still the idea, because like I'm not okay with either side telling me what I can and can't do.
And I agree, 100%.
So like
Because that's obviously the antithesis of being an American.
right. Well,
You know?
okay. So here's the best argument that I have. Do you think it's okay to burn a flag?
Yeah.
Because they're trying to outlaw that.
No, well, I mean, here's the deal. Those, again, extremists.
All right.
That's your extreme right. That's like you're like, oh my God, QAnon, you know, like Trump is Jesus, you know, like no, like
Trump is good old Jesus.
yeah, no, like that's like Trump is Jesus in the second coming. Everybody knows it. Ephesians 12:12 or something.
Yeah, they got some
But,
pretty weird people.
No, I feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like again, I was raised extremely, extremely religious. So I mean, I get it. I understand. I was raised Baptist, motherfucker. I know. That's about the most extreme Christian you can get. In fact, I don't know of another more extreme Christianity sect.
Oh, dude,
Okay.
I do. It's
Baptists hate other Baptists.
yeah.
You know, like,
the problem, the only more extreme set would probably be Islam itself.
that's what I do. They're literally they're like the fucking God damn it, I'm going down. But it's okay, just y'all left here. I'll go over there. Anyhow, I'll be driving the bus.
Yeah, to be driving the bus. Man.
AC/DC Highway to Hell blaring.
Oh no, I can't ride with you then, dude. I can't. That's too old.
Can't do AC. Dude. See, yeah, you're right. You probably need some Nicki Minaj. You half a fag.
Half a fucking fig.
You fucking half a fag.
Half a fucking
Yeah,
fig.
Look at you and your Nicki Minaj and your fucking half a fag out here.
Problem is, I've never even
Look at you, boy.
I've never even listened to a Nicki Minaj. Nah, dude. The furthest I go back is
Well,
Alice in
dude, my
Chains.
poker face, bro.
Wait, is that Nicki Minaj?
Did you really just say Alice in Chains?
Yeah, the furthest I go back is Alice in
Fucking
Chains.
uncultured fucking swine, bro.
You don't like Alice in
Dude.
Chains?
No, dude, no, fuck no. I hate Alice in Chains. Dude. I don't
What?
get that band. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, dude, I can't stand them, bro.
Oh, this just got hostile, dog. What?
Yeah, dude. Actually, I've had the same argument with the guy who trained me as when I got into trucking. Me and him were the same age, love the same kind of music, and he's like, "Dude, you mind if I play some Alice in Chains?" I said, "Dude, I'm gonna put some earphones in." He says, "What?" And I'm like, "Dude, like, I don't get that band." I'm like, "Yeah, here comes the rooster." Like,
Oh my god,
you
fuck.
kidding me?
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Suck a dick.
Oh,
Rooster
no.
is such a
Yeah.
good song.
No, oh my God, Will, no.
Such
No,
a
no.
good song.
Dude, that
It's
band
gonna
is an untalented hack of a band,
rain.
dude.
Dude, what are you?
They rode Nirvana's fucking curtail.
They came out before Nirvana.
Yeah, but Nirvana's the one that made the grunge steam.
Right, yeah, but okay,
Yeah,
dude, Kirk.
The Weed Puppets came out before Nirvana doesn't mean, you know, like.
Look, Kurt Cobain was my personal Jesus, man.
I feel it. Dude. Look, I love Nirvana, and I'm also a huge Dave Grohl fan. So, like, you know, like, dude, you talk Foo Fighters. I love Foo Fighters.
You can't
Okay.
say I'm a Dave Grohl fan for one reason. I've never met a person that isn't a Dave Grohl fan. At this point, I just assume all humans.
I have. Believe it or not.
How is there a single person?
I've met that person. He's like, dude, how can you listen to Dave Grohl? And I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, that's arguably one of the most talented musicians in the fucking industry today.
Yeah,
Not only was he the drummer for Nirvana, he's a fucking lead guitarist and singer for his fucking band. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, and on top of that, he's been consistently making fucking smash songs for 30 years, bro.
Dude, let's talk about The Pretender, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a fucking jam, dude.
I'm telling you, if aliens showed up and said, play me one song to save the Earth.
Foo Fighters.
Oh, I'll just be like, you know, dude, I'm going to get Dave Grohl on this. I feel like that was the plot of the last, what is that? Fucking Bill and Ted. That was like, the person to save time would be Dave Grohl. That's all I'm saying. Like, fuck.
Dude, Dave Grohl for president, right? You know, like
you know what? So I keep hearing The Rock wants to run for president, and I don't want that to happen. Yeah. Apparently, The Rock wants to run for president in 2024 because he thinks it'll unite the land. I don't think that's going to work. I think what we should do is get Dave Grohl down there. Because, like, again, never met a person.
Hold on. I disagree with you. I want to see The Rock do the people's elbow on Joe
Biden. That would be pretty dope.
That way, here's the first presidential address and be like, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, you know?
He's cooking. All right, so.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I feel it.
So what I'm thinking is, I guess that's the only way to end this conversation. This whatever the fuck this was been. How do you think Joe's doing?
Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Mr.
Oh, good Daddy Biden?
Yeah, good old Joe Daddy.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. My opinion probably isn't gonna be fucking, laureled upon. I did honestly. Well, let's see. Your first week, you fucking lose 100,000 jobs to a pipeline. You give the rights to the pipeline to Russia and get nothing in return. Well, on paper.
Right.
Let's see. You have the leader or not the leader, but the military, the guy in charge over in China, not the president, but like his advisor. Tell you on your own fucking land in your own fucking country in Alaska, tell your fucking guy who you sent to the meeting, basically, you have no moral ground or high authority to stand on to speak down to China. And yeah, dude, I can go on. You really. I mean, look, I'm trying to think of how a nice way to save vagina. He's a pussy. He's a pussy.
That's right.
He's a fucking.
Money.
He's a carpet bagging pussy, bro.
My favorite thing about that entire statement was you're like, I'm trying to find a nice way to say vagina. I'm going to go with a crude way to say it. Pussy.
Well, then now you'll start to understand my comedy.
So my idea with it is though, like, I kind of agree, man. Like, he hasn't done shit.
He's not getting money from us to do shit. He's getting money from other countries to do shit.
Well, he printed out some.
That.
Well, yeah, no. He's been printing out money like it's fucking, I don't know, like a crack supply in a fucking black neighborhood. He's been printing money so ridiculously that it's just, we're at 25% of all money printed right now in America is in current.
Whoa, you're massive on 60%.
It's 60% now? Jeez!
No. That was it. Okay, it was 60% when he took office. It's not entirely Biden's fault because Trump had a hand in it too.
Oh, yeah, no, he was handing out money.
Right, but I mean, Trump was like, okay, you remember in December when Trump was like, why not just give them $2,000? Because even Trump by that point was arguing, it's like, dude, like, look at all the money you guys are getting from it, all your big business bets, like all your big banks, all your buddies who like lobbied you to get your position. Look at all the money you're about to give them. Like, to give you an idea, like the COVID relief fund, only 19% of that was actually allocated to COVID relief, aka stimulus checks, etc. 19% of that.
Right.
The bill was titled COVID Relief Fund, and 19% of it. Look, I'm no mathematician, okay?
I'm no math guy. I'm not a math guy.
Look, listen to me. I'm not good with numbers and stuff, but I'm saying 19% is a lot lower than 25%. And all I'm trying to say here is that's less than a quarter. Less than a quarter of the money went to the people.
Right.
Less than a quarter of the money went to the people. Okay?
Right.
Where did the other percentages go? Oh, yeah. Gender studies in Pakistan.
Because that's something we definitely needed, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, we definitely needed that. No, that is without a doubt.
See,
Dude, I am so glad that now Pakistan's going to have a gender study going on because, dude, Pakistan just wasn't going to make it. You know, I mean, without this gender study, their infrastructure was just going to crumble.
How much do you want to bet that it had nothing to do with gender studies? And I guarantee you that gender study program is a front for fucking giving them military aid.
Well, I could tell you what I would be doing if I was the guy receiving that money from the United States federal government and the taxpayers. I would be doing rails of cocaine off of a hooker's ass.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to consider a gender study.
Yeah, I'm
making sure that it's a female I'm sniffing cocaine off.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, so yeah, there's definitely no penis here.
Optional.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to get at is, I see that COVID relief shit. That's why it's easy to be a Republican these days. That's why it honestly is, and that's why Republicans are fucking stealing people left and right. Is because it's easy to look at the fucking world at large and say, look, every other nation I can see is fucking trying to take care of themselves first. Why is it America finds its responsibility or some moral obligation to try and police the world? Try and give $1 million to Ukraine. Like, why the fuck are we giving money to anyone?
Again, that's why Trump wasn't a very popular president, because it was America first.
Right.
We weren't giving money to other countries. Trump was trying to pull all the troops out of other countries. Like, you let them deal with their own bullshit.
Right.
You know, like, why are we sitting here trying to do this? You see, that's why I never understood how Democrats didn't just absolutely love Trump, because they're supposed to be the anti-war party.
That's why I like Trump. Dude, Trump was awesome. We weren't at any wars.
Not only that, they signed those fucking peace accords in the Middle East. You know?
Right.
Like,
yeah,
dude,
no.
He's the only president to ever step foot in fucking North Korea. Like, dude, this guy was literally fucking trailblazing, showing the Democrats and Republicans how to fucking do it. And we don't like that because it doesn't fit our fucking narrative.
Well, see, that's
Let
why
me
it's
send my army of blue-haired mutants.
That's why it's so hard to be a libertarian, man. Like, honestly, you get no camp. You get no side. Because, like, dude, I don't want to go back to the right. The right's not somewhere. Like, I'm okay with their approach to freedom of speech, but I don't want their Judeo-Christian bullshit beliefs shoved into my schooling again. I don't want them.
Well, I mean, dude, that hasn't happened for 60 years. Well,
dude, what are you talking? It happened 20 years ago when I was 10.
Well, I mean, yeah, depending on what part of the country you're in, yeah.
California!
Really
I was in California, raised in the most democratic city there is.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah.
And still saying, I pledge allegiance to God and country or whatever the fuck it was when I was 10. And God we trust is still on our fucking money. Fuck God.
Well, okay, hold on. No. Whoa. I gotta disagree with you here because God itself, the idea of will, is more than just the Judeo-Christian God, my friend.
Okay, then why do we have so many right-wing people that say, our country's founded on Judeo-Christian beliefs?
Well, to a degree it was.
Bro. That wasn't even
to a degree it was,
that wasn't even the fucking
Look. How many of our founding fathers? Okay, how many? Now, go with me here.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with Freemasonry at all?
Yes.
Okay. In Freemasonry, the square and the compass, right? What's in between them both?
Oh, I don't know that much, bro. You're like
It's a capital letter G. Do you know what that G stands for?
probably gay.
No, God. It stands for God. Okay, but
Right.
Did you know at every Freemason temple in the United States, there's a Bible, a Quran, a fucking no matter what book you can imagine. The fact is, it's the idea of God, not.
Well, then that wouldn't be Judeo.
Well, yes, it is because see, all the Abrahamic Judeo-Christian, they all believe in the same God, man. They just go by different names.
Right? Yeah, but saying this country is founded off of Christian values when it's also founded off of Islamic.
That's not what I'm.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying. Judeo. Look, okay. It goes further than what you're looking at. You're looking at it at face value. I need you to step back and look at the bigger picture.
Oh, I'm gonna have to karate chop your balls, boy.
Listen. Just go with me here. Understand, okay? The sense of God is not a fucking invisible guy sitting up on the throne judging every fucking thing you do. The idea of God is not only fucking like religious, spiritual, it's also scientific. Okay? Because if you look at it in the vast universe, like remember I was telling you about like energies and stuff like that, you know, like the God being the supreme energy source where everything's
right, yeah.
existence. Okay, that's why I've never understood how religion and science fights each other. They're literally one and the same.
It's because...
What is the difference? Hold on, listen. What is the difference between the Big Bang and God saying, let there be light? Do you know what the answer to that is? Perspective. That's the answer to that. It's the same answer to one question. Okay? Man's perspective was, we don't understand God yet, so in our primitive days, God said, let there be light. In a scientific, more advanced age, God is the energy source springing everything into existence. Because in the Bible it says, God said, let there be light, and there was. You see what I'm saying? That's what it says.
The problem
in science it says the Big Bang happened. Everything sprang into existence randomly.
Right, but the problem is that both the Bible, the Quran, all these crazy books that talk about this crazy shit is how they're making the claim of what is without being factual in that claim. And the problem is that there's nothing they can do to do that. You call it perspective, but
it is perspective.
But yes, but in order for something to say it exists, it must prove that it exists. If you cannot,
but I mean, okay. Now on that term, how can scientists prove the Big Bang exists? They can't. There's no scientific formula. Dude, it's still just a theory.
Right, and I'm not even concerned about that.
Yeah, okay. Then you shouldn't be concerned about God then either.
Well, no, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about God because you have one small sect of individuals in our country that say that they take personal stock in our country's creation. Christianity.
No. Okay, and see that again. That's they don't know history.
I know, but you have to look at it through that lens because Judeo-Christians believe that they.
If I were to look at it through that lens, then I would look into the lens that white people brought slaves over. I can't do that. Dude, it's through factuality. The reason God is mentioned, the reason they say we're a nation or whatever, that's just them speculating. Dude, the founding fathers, the majority of them weren't Christians, dude. They were all fucking Freemasons, bro. Literally, look at it. Look how many were Freemasons.
Right.
Literally 3/4 of them. Dude, all these guys were avowed fucking agnostics, bro. They weren't fucking... Look.
So then why is it that we utilize God the way that we do?
Well, okay, again, if you go back, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You have to understand Freemasonry and what it stands for. Okay? Freemasonry, literally, again, the square and the compass is our most popular symbol. It's literally the symbol every Mason knows. The square and the compass with a capital letter G in it. The G represents God. It doesn't say which God. It just represents the spiritual aspect of God. Now, all these people, these Freemasons, are all the founding fathers of our country. The whole object, it's like, okay, the same way. Why did they design the dollar bill to have the pyramid with the capstone and the all-seeing eye? Oh, no, Illuminati. No, it's because it has symbolic meaning. It's all about symbolism. That's all it is. That's all it's ever been.
I know, but
God
that's...
is a fucking...
but that
I
doesn't...
understand. And you're talking about what? Well, you're talking about a fucking small fringe of Westboro Baptist Church.
No. See, I was alive in the 90s. I remember it. The majority...
Me too. I was there.
The majority of people were, in fact, Christian. Like, I think it was like 96% of Americans were Christian.
Right.
It was the opposite. No, it was the opposite of Fringe. That's back when people like Bill Maher and Richard Dawkins and the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse happened, because they were needed during, essentially, I would call it our second enlightenment, to where we tried to denounce God.
Well, here's the deal. Again, you see, that's where I'm gonna. Okay, when it comes to the fringe left and like trying to denounce God, it's like, here's the deal. It's the same way with the lunatics on the right. I choose not to look at God the way either side looks at God. Okay, because I know what the original intent is. See, I've been dead. So I know what they mean by God.
So, but like, then why does it need to be on our money and taught into our schools?
Well, that's again, because, it's okay. Same reason why do we have the flag? Why do we have the Pledge of Allegiance?
I disagree with that too.
Well, again, it's okay to be a patriot and a patriot to your country. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, yeah, there's nothing wrong with being a patriot.
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
okay, well,
but there's
these things were set up for a reason.
Yeah, but there's
a form of indoctrination.
Right, yeah, but there's to me there's an issue, even with something as simple as, a pledge allegiance to the flag, because I don't know if I'm going to live in this country my whole life. I'm fucking 5.
Well, while you're fucking here, why don't you do it?
Because that's the problem, dude. Because I don't pledge allegiance to my country. It wasn't even my choice. I was fucking born here. Let me get older. Let me get older. Let me experience the world and then determine where I pledge my allegiance to.
And I feel that, kid. But the object is, the thing is look, there's a reason they do what they do.
Or to brainwash young kids.
Well, not necessarily. The object is to make you a patriot for this country. Because here's the deal. At the end of the day, you have freedom of choice. That's something this country has. Small majority of other countries do have, but to a degree. All
right, no,
we have the right to sit here. We have the right to sit here and talk shit about Joe Biden all day long. We have the right to sit here and denounce everything this federal government does, and we don't have to worry about boots stomping in the fucking door and gunning us down and dragging our kids out of the house.
No, yeah, that's...
We have God-given rights. These men, these Freemasons sat down and figured out a fucking divine system where they can incorporate God, they can incorporate all these little assets of life, all things that they knew up until that point. Remember,
250 years ago or some shit like that?
Exactly. Yeah, things were a lot different back then, okay? But everybody was religious. Science was still kind of becoming a budding thing. Fuck, they didn't even know how to fight dysentery back then. Well, they could barely even figure out how to fight scurvy.
They didn't even know that, like, to reload a gun, you don't have to stand still and fucking get shot the fuck out.
Exactly. You see, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, look, when people try to sit there and have an issue with religion, I can understand it because you got a lot of religious zealots. I get it. I hate them just as much as you do. But for the majority of Christians who just want to practice their religion, want to see God, and they're not sitting there trying to preach it to you, because that's the majority of Christians will.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the majority. Again, you got your blue-haired drinkers in the fucking Christian circles. Trust me. I'm telling you, what I'm saying is, the whole point is they were trying to set up a fucking thing that had never been done in this world. And the only way they could do it was by acknowledging God and the fact that God and nature gave them the rights to be free men. because nobody else did that. The rest of the world was monarchies. The monarchy was God incarnate in the flesh. That's literally how monarchies work. And of course, this is before socialism or any other kind of fucking thing. It was literally monarchy or fucking nothing. You know?
Right.
And they were given by the church the divine will of God. In fact, if you ever see a procession of a coronation and how a coronation happens up until Napoleon Bonaparte, of course, because high five, my all-time favorite historical figure. Napoleon Bonaparte was the only person who ever crowned himself.
What a fucking beast.
Yeah, dude, the fucking Pope brought the fucking crown to him. He literally grabbed it off the thing and put it on top of his own head.
Get
Normally
your...
it was the Pope that's supposed to do that.
Yeah. Get your...
Basically, saying you've been crowned by God, quote unquote, you know?
Yeah.
Because the Pope is God's moral figurehead.
Yeah.
Napoleon Bonaparte's the one's like, fuck tradition, I'm going to do things my way. But,
I got no problem whatsoever with the concept of God. The concept of a being that exists outside our understanding and our capability to fathom what is. The difference is, though, these people... No. Hold on, real quick, though. But to get to hold that thought. But what I'm getting at, you're asking why we have it on the dollar bill, why we have this, why we have that. You have to understand, back in that day, again, the Pope was the one who decided. He was the figurehead of God. He's the one who decided who was going to rule. You see what I'm saying? Right.
He was the one, the ultimate end-all, who decided who'd rule. So that's why when our founding fathers wrote the Declaration of Independence, dude, it's written right there in the first couple of sentences. It's literally, we, to become a more perfect union, have realized that we have been endowed by our creator and or nature. They just say creator. They don't even specify God. Okay? They say our creator. We hold these truths self-evident, like it's evidence to us, that all men are created equal. You see, that's what's so beautiful about that fucking Constitution. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams penned that motherfucker, and they were two geniuses ahead of their time. Now Jefferson was a Freemason. Adams was not. Adams was an abolitionist. Jefferson owned slaves. So there you go. But that's what I'm trying to say. You know, these guys back then had to frame it as God is their indelible creator, and he has bestowed upon them.
No, but see, they didn't
bestowed upon them the rights.
But they didn't, because it's written right there in that it's written right there, our creator. It didn't say God.
You're right, okay, but here's the deal. Back then, they didn't want to fucking wishy-washy it, but when they sent it to the king is going to read it. Now, well, he's going to have his guys read it to him or whatever. But when they sent it to the king, it's basically a bitch slap in the face to the king, because the king has been anointed by God to be their leader. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Basically, these guys were smart enough to say, well, he is king because God has chosen him as king. We have chosen. God has chosen us to rule ourselves.
That's murky, though. You can only take something written at its context. You can't try and find an underlying meaning.
Right, but dude, again, you remember this is a time and place where double entendres were a thing.
Yeah,
there's a lot of them in the Constitution. That's why there's still a lot of constitutional arguments to this day.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean God. It means creator.
Right. Yes. Okay. And what is a creator with?
I would assume us. We're content creators right now. Would you assume we're God?
Please, everybody, make sure you smash the fuck out of that.
Why my
ring that bell?
Ring the bell. No, like, so. For example, like, I don't say, like, so you have to take them for 100% what they say. Like, you can't, and that's the problem with the Constitution. Ultimately, is because you can't. The fuck does bear arms mean? Yeah, my point is, it could mean virtually whatever you want it to fuck to mean. That to me could mean I own the right to own some bear claws, but like, dude, you don't see me walking into some fucking donuts shop and getting some free bear claws, motherfuckers.
Back then, bear meant to like hold or keep.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't bear the sight of it. Yeah. No, I got you.
That's how words change over time. You know, like
I'm just saying, it's
no longer used.
It's ridiculous, is what it is. I'm just pointing a little jab at it.
No, I feel it, but at the same time, it's like, dude, like, You have to understand the moral framework. The moral framework was they were trying to fucking legitimize their claim to have freedom.
Yeah, their sovereignty.
Exactly. And the only way to do that was to invoke it in the name of the Creator and or God.
Right, but again...
You see, there's a poem out there, Will, called Desiderata. And one of my favorite lines in that poem is written by Max Ehrmann in the 1920s, which, of course, he didn't get any popularity until years after his death. But in Desiderata, there's a line in there where it says, "Therefore be at peace with God, whatever you may conceive him to be." So, you see, that's how I try to live my life. I try to, like, dude, like, look, if you want to fucking go to the church of the flying spaghetti monster, I don't give two shits. Don't try to practice or preach it to me. I don't care. In fact, even though I hold some Christian values, quote unquote, very loosely, I'm not going to sit there and say, like, oh, it's end all. There's nothing else before that, because no, we literally just copy pasted every Abrahamic fucking religion beforehand, and just added a couple things we liked and didn't like, So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, since the dawn of history, man has tried to understand how we came to be here, and the only thing is like we come to find out that whatever we consider God is actually science, and science and God are one and the same. And until you see it from that perspective, you're not going to understand it. And most people don't understand it. You see, ancient man didn't have a way to sit there and theorize God or science. They literally was like, well, there must be something up there with the same mental capacity as me, if not greater. And it
what the fuck are you talking about? Ancient man understood both science, well, not like science to the way that we do now, but we had scientists, philosophers, we had great thinkers, all that question God,
right?
Long before the dawn of today.
I'm talking about ancient man. Because you have to understand, dude, the Bible predates like the Greeks, dude. Like predates like all these people, dude. Literally goes back to almost the fucking dude. For fuck's sakes, even in the Bible they talk about the Great Flood, dude.
Yeah, dude, the Bible also says like the world is like 6,000 years old and shit.
Well, actually, it doesn't say that in there anywhere. That's actually just Christian speculation. They don't know. Okay? Actually, even scientists have been proven wrong at the actual age because they try to carbon date everything. There's a lot of shit that could fuck that up. You see, people are trying to sit there and try to approximate age and everything. It's like, dude, like, there's a reason we probably don't remember. Like, the only reason we remember there was a great flood is because every fucking civilization wrote about it. Every fucking civilization.
Yeah, the problem is most of those civilizations like
died during it. A lot of them did.
Well, yeah, but I mean, a great flood that could have just been like 6 feet.
No. The Great Flood. Okay, in every ancient manuscript, this Great Flood. What happened is, basically, this happened. They estimate probably about maybe 30. I don't know, no, not 30 yet. I'd say probably about 10, 15,000 years ago, maybe, give or take. It's like very prehistory. But what happened is scientists are starting to believe that the magnetic poles shifted because it's happened before numerous times on this planet. They're already speculating we're actually getting close to another one. But basically what happens is the poles reverse. And what do you think is going to happen when that happens? North becomes east, east becomes north, south becomes west, west becomes south, You see, like, everything twists. And what's going to happen when that happens? Well, your glaciers are now going to be sitting here where the sun normally hits. And, you're fucking... Because, dude, it literally flips just like that. It's like a matter of, like, maybe a year. Your entire fucking planet, like, rotates 360 degrees, in, like, all different directions.
That's a good tire rotation.
Yeah, exactly. What's going to happen if you put the polar ice caps where the fucking Bermuda Triangle should be? What do you think is going to happen? They're going to fucking melt. What's going to happen when they melt? It's going to flood. Like, it's not rocket science, okay, people? Like, it's like the ancients aren't stupid. They knew how to write shit down. They just didn't know how to explain it to a degree to where we would fucking understand it, because we don't understand how the fuck they lived back then. It's not rocket science. They believed in hooky dookie. We don't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but
that's what I'm getting at. Like, I get it. I get it. There's a lot of your fucking idiotic, moronic, fucking Bible thumping artards. I get it. I get it. Because I can't stand them either because I was raised by one.
See, my problem, my problem though, is that religion almost is entirely a choice.
Well, it is.
Yeah, and that's why it's, for me, I can like look at someone who's born of, like, oh, I'm born black, cool. They can't control that. I'm born gay, can't control that. I'm born whatever. Born a girl, woman, whatever. You can't choose these things; they just happen to you. So you can't be held accountable for thinking about those things. But man, the religious people, and yeah, you could think for the most part they just keep to themselves, and a majority of them do, because a majority of them haven't even read their own Bible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can attest to that. I've actually read it cover to cover numerous times. But yeah, keep going.
But the problem is, you get these people that, I would say like a good 20-30% of them that believe some of the more heinous shit that the Bible brings on. Like,
right. Okay. And now, see, that's where I would delegate it to who the hell is giving them the message. You see, that's the beauty of the Bible, man. Like, look, it could be a weapon for good or it could be a weapon for evil. It just depends on who the shepherd is.
They can all be both. Like, even the Islamic one. Like, fuck the Quran. If taken 100% literal. Woo!
You're right. Yeah, exactly. Now, again, who's the shepherd? You see, it's the same concept in government, okay? Who's the shepherd? Who's the person leading the flock?
Right, but so then why should we allow those religions to exist?
Well, then why should we allow government to exist? It's literally the same.
No, because the government actually acts as a body that oversees our laws and shit on a nation to nation level. We vote in our government.
I get it. But here's the deal: you voted for government. I get that, but again, there's a difference. Like, if you're going to live here in this country, you kind of by de facto have to live under the government. You just by being here, you have to obey its laws, right? That's the difference between government and religion. Religion, you don't have to go to a church. You don't have to do what they do. You don't.
Yeah, but if religion can be used as a weapon,
yeah, you're right. It can, but so can the government. Okay, but what I'm getting at is you're trying to do this moral framework where it's like, dude, like you need to just get off the teat about Christians being evil. Yeah, there's a small percentage of them that are. But the majority of them are fucking harmless.
It's not. No, but see, you misunderstand. You think my framework is about Christianity. It's about religion.
Right, but again, you're okay. Here's the deal: you're only looking at the negatives of religion. Look at some positives. That's what I'm saying. There are positives, believe it or not.
Well, there are positives. Yeah, obviously.
There's charities. There's fucking dude. Okay, to give you an idea, when me and my wife first moved up here, dude, had it not been for the churches giving away free food, like, dude, we wouldn't have made it.
No, I totally got that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, like not everything that comes out of them is evil. There is some good. That's what I'm getting at. It's like, look, dude,
well, yeah, obviously there's good in all people. Like, not all Nazis were fucking monsters. Some Nazis were just family men trying to take care of their, where they were living.
Yeah, they had to do what they had to do to pay the bills, right?
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. So there's always that. But I think that we as a society can start moving away from those things now. Religion is a choice. We can start opting people out of religion, man.
Well, yeah, but the point is look, dude, you're trying to look at it as like religion's problem. It technically isn't, dude, because look, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, do you really know for a fact, beyond a shadow of belief, without a doubt, that they're wrong? No, I'm dead serious. I'm dead. Like, from a scientific perspective, from a lens of pure knowledge, without a shadow of a doubt that their way is wrong and your way is right. Do you know?
No, no one can know that.
Exactly. So how at the end of the day can you sit there and judge what they're doing based on how you want to live in your moral framework?
Because it's simple. They're like handwritten, dude, by mankind. Religion has been used.
So is science. So is everything. So is government.
Yes, but we're at a point now where we exist in this vacuum, right? Where We're being polarized to extremes. We're being pulled.
I feel it.
So
exactly.
why are we allowing one of the biggest decisive things to still continue? Religion,
No,
yeah,
no, like,
or just
not all religion is divisive, dude. Everything can be divisive. It's all, dude.
I know, but it's another way for people to group up in ideologies.
Well, yeah,
it's just
again, okay. But if you're going to argue that and say that we need to be more collective, then you're almost arguing socialism.
No,
socialism is.
No, I'm saying we just don't use religion. Like, we are a rational people now that we can get to the point where if you want to believe in a religion, it should be, like, kind of shunned on. Not shunned on, but, like, it shouldn't be brought up in a public setting. Because your religious beliefs are irrelevant to the world at large. They should be private. It's kind of like the way Jordan Peterson talks about how when anyone asks him if he believes in God, he says, I live like God is real. And that's the only thing he's willing to tell you. He's not willing to tell you whether, because it's no one's business.
Right. Again, and I can agree with that, but at the same time, like, you ever heard about, like, how you dismantle something? You take it a piece at a time. Until eventually, over time, the people didn't realize it was even taken away to begin with.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to get at. You start to dismantle let's just go along with your theory. Okay, let's say 10 years down the road, we get to a point in time where everything you want goes your way. And now Christianity's taken away, or any kind of religion is taken away from people, who for thousands of years have practiced this. They have made it a way to find some semblance or meaning to life. There's, you know what I'm saying? Like, religion has saved countless lives as far as, like, suicides.
It's also caused the most deaths in the history of the entire earth, but...
Well, that's just, yeah, you're right. Again, yeah. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, but again, we would find something else to get polar over. But, like, again, we should be trying to eliminate things that just cause nothing but friction. Do you think the war in the Middle East right now between Pakistan and Jerusalem, or I can't even say it correctly, and it's my people, would happen if they didn't have their religions?
Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, like, dude, like, again, it comes down to the individual, like, what they want to believe. You see, that's...
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
And at the end of the day, we're the arbiters of our own life.
Right, we dictate everything.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, dude, if that's what they want to believe, dude, by all fucking means, you know what? I'm not a part of it, though.
No,
like, dude,
I agree. I agree that if someone wants to believe in whatever hokey pokey bullshit they want to, by all means, brother. But they shouldn't be able to flaunt that shit around to other people. They shouldn't be going door to door trying to convert people to their religion. They shouldn't have billboards up that says Jesus loves you.
Well, I mean, but again, that's what they do. Well, you got to understand, this is a free country. They're allowed to do that. Right,
I know, and that's why I'm like, my belief. I disagree. My belief goes fundamentally against my own. My beliefs on this are torn, right? Like, because I believe in individual, like, freedom of speech, individuality, all that shit. Do whatever you want, and I want that, but I don't want religion to be a centerpiece in our modern lives. I want it to be something that you believe in and you keep it to yourself.
Well, right. Well, but I mean, for the most part, that's almost become the norm.
Well, you got women coming out making not giving marriage license to gay people.
Well, no, but they took prayer out of school. Slowly but surely, we're moving the way you want to go anyway.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It's
the fact of the matter is look, dude. The minute you start persecuting a person, okay, based on what they do or what they want to believe in, you see, that's where you start running into that moral dogma. You can't do that. There's, again...
But is there?
Like what I was saying. Well, if it goes back to what I was saying with you and Steve the other day, like, you're trying to look through the lens of there's only black or white, dude. You're not looking at the comfortable shades of gray.
Well, yeah, but so, for example... I don't judge people for things they can't control. Their birth, their level of some people just come out, specially needs, like handicapped or anything like that. Skin color, sex, whatever, dude. Your genetics aren't something that you got to pick. Two people fucked and then they made you. There you are. But you choose.
I feel that. Yeah,
you choose. Right. You choose your religion, and that to me.
And here's the deal: you chose to be an agnostic, an atheist, whatever you want to call it. You chose that.
No, I didn't choose that. I see the problem that people have, and this is one of.
You choose to not.
No. That's not how it works. That's not how a claim works, though. I don't choose not to believe in God. God hasn't made no one has made a good enough argument for me to acknowledge that He exists. People are making a claim that God is real.
Right, but on the same token, you're also not acknowledging that He doesn't either.
I know, but it doesn't work that way, though. One is a claim. One is a claim. Right. So if you come to me and tell me God is real, you have to prove to it. If you cannot prove that, then God is not real. The burden of proof.
But you can't prove He doesn't exist either, Will. That's the beauty of it.
I don't have to. I'm not the one claiming that He does. The burden of proof relies solely on the individual making a claim.
Hold up. Now hold on. But you're sitting here trying to tell me that they shouldn't be able to do any of that. That's you literally making the claim that He doesn't exist. Because you choose not to.
Because they haven't proved that He has. That's the point. Right. No person alive practicing their religion should have a right to practice that religion. They haven't proven that He's real.
Well, they don't have to, Will. It's just like you can't prove that He isn't.
But that's how you... It's not my job to prove that He isn't.
Right, so then it shouldn't bother you.
No, it's a claim, though. If you come out and say, I believe in God, I am a Christian, you are making a claim. Therefore, it is on the responsibility of that Christian to determine God's actual fucking proof of existence. And if that guy cannot claim that, then he's just an insane person.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what if, okay? Again, I'm going to go along and say here, I don't think that anything's impossible. It's highly improbable, okay? Now, looking through it for a scientific lens, okay, what is the probability that God exists? It's a 50-50 shot. It's a crapshoot. It literally is. If you want to go down to a scientific level,
I mean, I'm not a probability physicist or whatever. I don't.
And you're goddamn right you're not. But what I'm trying to tell you is, look, at the end of the day, no matter what, it's a claim. Okay, there's a 50% chance that he's right, and there's a 50% chance that he's wrong.
Right.
Just like there's a 50% chance that you're right, and there's a 50% chance that he's wrong.
God could be 100% real. He could, but again, none of the religions have the right to say that they know God because they cannot prove it.
But you got to understand, dude, sometimes it goes beyond. You're trying to make it like a physical thing. Like, look, go with me on this, okay? Look, again, talk about how, like, you know, a lot of Christians like to believe that God's the invisible man sitting up there in the clouds, sitting on a throne, judging every action they do, right? Most Christians believe that shit, okay?
Most Christians also believe the end of the world is going to happen in their lifespan.
Well, yeah, they've been saying that for how many fucking years? And they've been wrong for how many fucking years?
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. If they want to live in their fucking delusions of grandeur, by all fucking means. Okay? But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is, look, God is more of a metaphor. Okay? And that's the problem. You're extremists on both sides. Don't understand that. However, a good majority of people do. God is merely a metaphor. God is basically man trying to understand the metaphysical, not the physical,
right?
The metaphysical. We're trying to understand that space that we can't define, okay? Because obviously there's been tales of when people died, you know? Like I said, look, I didn't see any fucking bright lights at the end of the tunnel. I didn't see no fucking magical rainbows shitting out fucking, you know, unicorns or anything.
Peter didn't meet you at the gate and said, "Hey, if you want in here, fucking swallow me, load."
Yeah, exactly. None of that happened. Okay, but what I can tell you is it was very calming, very peaceful. Honestly, like
I would assume that's what nothingness is.
Part of me didn't want to leave it, but again, here's the deal. When it comes down to God being real or not real, at the end of the day, it breaks down to a 50-50 crapshoot. You know, because look, the idea of God is just that. It's just an idea, bro. That's all it is. It's all it's ever been. It's
Right.
the idea of God.
But that's
It's the idea. It's the idea of you're so minor and insignificant that there's something out there greater than yourself, a force that is to be reckoned with. And
Right.
that scares the living shit out of all humans. And the only way to try to get close to that understanding or that physical thing goes back to years and years and years and years of man trying to understand what that energy source is or what that power is.
right.
At the end of the day, we still don't have a fucking answer.
That's
Okay.
the entire crux of the argument. Is that my problem
I
with
get that.
religion isn't that it's trying to understand the universe. It's that it believes that it has figured it out. And
Well,
it preaches
and
itself.
and again, that's where I would disagree with them because at the end of the day, it's a 50-50 fucking crapshoot.
Well,
That's it.
I know, but like,
It's
so
like, for
again,
okay, so like my buddy converted to Mormonism, right? It's a true story.
Okay.
Yeah, true story. Now I don't, disapprove of his choice. So like, it's his choice. I don't hate him. I don't
No.
have any ill will towards him. I love him.
yeah,
My
but
friend.
you can still find it
You know,
humorous.
But yeah, well, he joined literally, arguably, the biggest cult and the most kooky religions out there. Okay? But here's the deal, dude. If you ask a Mormon if they know if they're going to heaven or hell, they cannot answer. Like, they don't know. They will literally, that's their dogma. They don't know. Now, you go to a Baptist, you ask them, are you going to heaven or hell? Well, we're going to heaven. And the reason for that is because of their religious dogma. Like most Baptists, like I was raised, once saved, always saved. So even on my deathbed, I can renounce Jesus Christ. I can spit on his fucking image. I can do whatever. And at the end of the day, I'm still going to heaven. Because they believe in their dogma that once saved, always saved. Basically, God would never break his covenant with man. You see, everybody has their own little patchwork.
Right. So then why do we let it happen that way? When
Well,
we all
because,
know
dude,
that it's all a
because
crock of
everybody's
shit.
different. Well, it's, again, dude, you don't know that for sure.
I know, but like, so for example, the fact that there's
Like,
even
dude.
more than one religion is further proof that religion is a crock of shit.
Well,
Religion-
I mean, all religion is okay. See, well, that's where like the history major comes out at me to understand religion and what religion actually is. You actually have to research it, understand all the different viewpoints of where they come from and how they came to be.
Right.
All your Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Judaism, Kabbalism, your fucking the Muslims, all of them have the same tenets almost. All of them have the Ten Commandments, but you would think that that's an Abrahamic thing. It's actually not. They actually stole it from the fucking Egyptians. Well, you look at the Egyptian shit, and you start to realize, holy shit, this story looks the same as this story in the Bible. But wait
Yeah,
a
they're
second.
all the same.
Exactly. Now, hold on a second. The Sumerians believed in the same shit too? Wait, so you mean to tell me the reason we celebrate Easter is not because Jesus died for our sins and arose from a cross? It's because it's named after a fucking pagan fertility goddess named Ishtar? What the fuck? You see, that's what I'm trying to say.
Right,
All
but
these
that's
religions, like, well, again, dude, you have to understand it's been passed down, and I understand it's generational, dude. But look, some people find solace in that.
okay, but
some
fuck some
people-
people.
Okay, I get that, dude. Some people, like my mother, okay, my biological mother. Look, I have a love-hate relationship with that woman. I do. She fucked me up a lot mentally and physically as a child. Okay, under the guise of Jesus. Okay, like look, if anybody can have a reason to hate religion as much as you do, it should be me, because I had Jesus beat into me, motherfucker. Okay. And I'm not talking mentally. I'm talking physically.
Come on, son, you ain't the only one from that camp, dog.
So what I'm trying to say is, look, if anybody should have hatred for it, it should be me. But you know what? I can't. And the reason for that is because regardless of how fucking insane their ideas may sound or your ideas may sound, I am going to reluctantly listen to both sides. And I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to find something from this camp and I'm going to find something from that camp. I'm gonna make my own moral my moral injection on it and understand it to some degree. Because see, I can't sit there and not like try to understand things. I have to sit there and know everything about everything.
Right,
but that's just because maybe that's divine providence.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
You're talking about camps and stuff. Like my camp is the one that's just devoid of the situation, and that's what I want. Is I would rather have like I'm like again I've said it numerous times. If people want to believe whatever the fuck they want to believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. Just keep it to yourself.
Well, I'm okay with that. Most of them should.
And the problem is that they can't. They for some reason.
Okay, you're right. But again, what do the majority of all these Abrahamic religions say? Go out and preach the gospel, right?
Right.
They're morally bound to.
Right, which is again, so that's a problem of religion. Religion literally is the perfect.
Okay, but now you want to go on that spectrum. What did Jesus say in the Bible? I know you're not going to know, but
no, I don't.
What did he say? Okay, you know what Jesus said about the non-believer? You know what he told his flock to do that nobody practices to this day?
No.
Let them be. He literally said, "Let them be."
Well, and that's fine. It's like so like yeah, I'm hard on Christianity, right? Like I'm really hard on Christianity, but I'm hard on all religions. Like I'm even hard on Buddhist, even though I think for the most part Buddhism is more of a spiritual thing. But it's like it is, but like it can still cause religious people to do crazy shit. Like there were those killings that those Buddhist fucking priests were doing. Like what the fuck? A Buddhist priest killing people, whatever. Like that shouldn't happen. So, like, I'm hard on religion, but at least, for the most part, Christianity...
You said hard on.
Huh?
You said hard on.
Hard on? I mean, yeah.
For the most part.
For the most part, the Christianity religion as a whole, and to some extent Catholicism, has undergone a more formative modern preview, right? Like, so, like... More
accepting.
Yeah, more Christians are more accepting of gay people now than they've ever been. I'm sure there's a bunch of Christians that get together and they're like, them fucking faggots. But I mean, most Christians now,
extremists.
Yeah, but most Christians now have been reformed to having a mindset that's like, look, dude, let people be people, bro. Like, fuck off. But I wish, like,
well, and again, that's something that it's had to evolve over time. Like, if you're going to be living in the past, there's no way you're going to be able to live in the future, bro.
So then, why is it that we can't get the Islam to reform their communities?
Well, that's because they're part of that, that camp of
Well, I mean, like Christianity had to go through some hard shit, man. And yeah, Christianity, like they had a lot of like. I'm not going to sit here and point the finger and tell you which religion has been worse for the planet. I don't know, but I could tell you a lot of people have died on either side of that spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the fucking numbers, but I'm not going to sit here and point the fingers at which one's worse. I'm going to tell you which one has gone through a more modern. What's the word I'm looking for? Like reformation? Is it? I don't think that's.
Yeah.
One has gone.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Is actually say reformation. That'd be about right.
One has gone through that transition and the other hasn't.
You mean so it's come out of the closet?
Yeah.
The transition, baby.
It went from being a bulky boy that was always right to being a nice, sensitive lady trying to find themselves.
Who drives a dump truck?
I don't know, man.
Look, at the end of the day, I mean, that's why I'm center right, you're center left, but I have no issues with religion as long as they stay out of my fucking crosshairs.
I just wish they'd keep that shit. Like, I wish religion wouldn't practice the idea of preaching religion. If we could just fucking nup that out of the butt and just let people be people. And if you pick up a Bible and say, hey, there's some good shit in here, and you choose to be a guy that practices what's in the Bible, then fucking more power to you, bro. Free market. Let's do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the majority of most Christians. I mean, most reformed criminals find Christ. That's how they come back and they become changed. So they reform their lives.
Well, yeah, most people coming off of drugs become reformed. Yep.
Drugs or AA. That's how they find God. That's how they reform their lives. And look, dude, if they need if that's what it takes for them to reform their lives and better their path in life, then by all means.
I don't know about that one, buddy.
At the same time, I don't want that guy coming over to my house and be like, "Excuse me, have you found Jesus?" Because the only thing look, Will, I've already figured it out. This is how you're going to keep them off your property, okay? So they never come to you or talk to you.
I'm half a fucking fig.
No. What you're going to do is you're going to draw a chalk outline of a dead body on your front porch, and then what you're going to do is throw religious pamphlets all around it. That way, they just won't come to your house.
See, fuck, dude. What? I was sitting there on the precipice of a great idea, and it's completely.
That's a mighty fine word.
Hey, bro, dude, there was a name. It was the name of a cool song in fucking Bleach. Let me ruin my smartness.
Your smartness. That's you did it just by using that word right there. You see, you don't say smartness, dumbass. You say intelligence.
Smartness.
Smartness ain't no word, you half a thing.
Half a fucking fig. No, like, so, I don't know, man. The idea that religion just, I got no problem. Well, I mean, I do kind of, like, if I meet a person, they tell me they're religious, like, automatically lost a few points. You know what I mean? Like 3 points off out of 100.
Well, there you go. I'm about a 97 in here.
You're not religious, bro.
I mean, look, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. So yeah, I guess tomato, or whatever.
Yeah, like I've never heard you talk about the glory of Ishtar.
Well, I mean, look, dude. Again, I believe in the supreme energy source. If you choose to identify it as God or science, by all means, you do you, boo boo. But I know what it is. I know it exists, and I know it's there. But that's my own personal experience. That's, not everybody's walked a mile in my shoes, because trust me, it'd be a pretty rough and tumble journey. But
I don't know if I could.
Again, when I died and came back, Will, I had knowledge that I didn't have before. That's all I can say. Now, if you decide to try to sit there and try to figure it out, or say one way or another, by all means, you're entitled to what you believe. But at the end of the day, like, I know that whatever it was that I felt or experienced in that calm state, where it was just nothingness, but it felt warm. Like, that's all I can say.
Right.
It felt comforting. It felt warm, and honestly, when I came back, I was mad that I came back. Like, I was hoping that shit was permanent, but I mean, thank God it isn't, because
right, you still got some shit left, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I got things to show for it now. I got wife, 3 kids, and a motorcycle, a fucking badass car. And
all this sounds
terrible.
All
this stuff in America. All the stuff a fucking first world problem would be. Like.
Meanwhile, like, all right, I think I need to go experience some like near death shit. Here I am living in a garage with $100 in my pocket. It's actually $25.
Man, you need to be investing in crypto, kid.
Sheesh. I guess that's a good place to call it, motherfuckers. Thanks for stopping by the first episode. Where the fuck we're naming this?
It's the two glorious fat bastard show.
All right.